Yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book. Yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim. Yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix. Yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge. Officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah. Just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it?
Hey, shalom, shalom. Welcome back. Apologies. We had technical difficulties, but we're back. Welcome to Our Hidden History Radio. I'm Deacon Hathan, and to my left and right,
Officer Haim.
Officer LaCroix, what's up?
Officer Jezreel.
Officer Dunn.
and welcome back to another episode of Our Hidden History Radio. Our Hidden History Radio. We delve into the history, the historical elements of the Bible, the history that coincides with the Bible, our forefathers that played major roles throughout world history that's been hidden from us for ages, for centuries, and we're here to bring it out. So we left off last week talking about Alexander's conquest of the kingdom of Tyre. So we decided to do a bit of a fact check for ourselves, and come to find out we've been pronouncing some words wrong. Last week I told you that Ziri Island was the place that he attacked, but it turns out that was an error. They named an island off the coast of ancient Tyre called Ziri Island, but it's actually no longer an island anymore. Remember, Alexander the Great built the bridge, and basically the land became extended, so it's no longer an island anymore. Okay, they even have a Starbucks on there now. They have like a Starbucks. They built a Starbucks on ancient Tyre. We've been calling it Tyre. That's also erroneous. It's actually Tyre. It's pronounced Tyre, and Sidon is pronounced Sidon. So it's Tyre and Sidon. So Tyrus and Sidon, or Sidonians, all right, or Tyrians, pretty much. So Tyrians. So Tyrians, whatever. So it's pronounced Tyre. You know, some of y'all, either at the Greek, you had the great Alexander the Great. He had 4 generals. You had we call him Lysimachus. It's Lysimachus. Lysimachus. You had Seleucus. You have Ptolemy. He's not Ptolemy. It's just Ptolemy. And you have Cassander. So we was just doing the Bible pretty much gives you how to pronounce the words. We'd be too lazy to really look at it. You know, it doesn't really matter. But I think just for edification's sake, Ziri Island is not that place. It's just an island that they named in honor of the ancient place. But the ancient island of New Tyre, there's no longer an island anymore because Alexander the Great built that bridge there and connected it. And how he was able to do that was there was already a bunch of rocks, like a little bridge leading to the island from the mainland. So he just threw more rocks and more rubble from old Tyre into the water, and they made a bridge, and then he ended up constructing more. And as while that was going on, he had to attack them from the water. So he had to distract them with a navy attack while building that the little bridge to knock the walls down and so forth. And they ended up getting inside. I didn't get into much detail regarding that because to me it's kind of like a bit minor details, but there's YouTube videos that pretty much give you a illustration, on how he managed to get into the walls of New Tyre, all right, and how he built the little land bridge and so forth, which made pretty much the island of New Tyre into the land of New Tyre. Pretty much, it's no longer an island anymore; it's a peninsula now, I believe, something like that. All right, so now we're heading into the Barcas. All right, so I'm excited. I know most of you who love history like myself and the brothers up here, we're very excited to delve into this because the Barcas, believe it or not, the Barcas family, that whole history, that war, leads into a whole bunch of things that took place that pretty much changed history, leading up to today even.
Right.
All right, so let's start it off. We're gonna go and just start off with what do I want to go into? Let me see if I want to bring this out. I have this written on top of my page. Let me see something real quick. Do I want this? Let me see if I want this.
So
yeah, I do want this. Okay, so I'm gonna hold on to. Do I want to bring this out now?
So Israel.
Go ahead, Jess.
So Israel, just get your notebooks, your pens, or pencils, and take notes. All right. Like Deacon just brought out, we're going to be going into the Barcas. This is extensive history that our people do not know of. Understand? So that's what we doing. We bringing out our hidden history to our people. All right, the Israelites. Okay, right. So the Barcas. This is going to be a fantastic series. Going into the Barcas, going into the Hannibal and so forth. All right. So just tune in.
Those of you who are fans of the show Spartacus, right?
Yeah.
Spartacus, the only black dudes in the show were Barcas. That name is very common. Hannibal, Hamilco are very common names. Barca is a Hebrew name, actually. Barca is a Hebrew name. It comes from the Hebrew, so-called Hebrew Barak, which means lightning.
Right.
Lightning. As like this, like Barak, Barak, same thing. So, what else want to get into? That's it. Let's begin. We're going to go into... we ended off also. I'm sorry. We also ended off when Tyre was conquered, how the Israelites took over, basically. We took over Tyre. We took over. Remember Tyre was conquered. They fled to Africa. When you watch the video illustration, it tells you that many of us who escaped the siege of Alexander the Great, they sailed to Africa during that siege. Into Africa, so and established Carthage there, and eventually we ended up becoming the majority, and we took over. So let's start that. Let's go to first and foremost. Let's go to the Jewish diaspora. I want page 453. We're going to start with that first. All right. Page 453. Start with that first. The Bishop uses this book all the time. This is a 3-volume set. So if you're interested in getting it, show them the cover of the book. I'll give you this. I'll give you this.
Yeah, y'all can have this book right here.
Y'all can have this. Bishop uses it all the time. He uses it all the time. This is volume 2 of the 3-volume set of this. This book is very good. Few things up in there I use all the time. So we're going to read page 453. All right? You're gonna see something. Hold on a second. You're gonna go this. Just start there. We'll start from read the first paragraph. Oh wait. Yeah, we're gonna read to the second paragraph. Go ahead.
All right.
This is page 453. I'm reading along with y'all. Go ahead.
Legends of Semitic migrations into the Maghreb, North Africa.
The Maghreb. That term, Maghreb, will be revisited later on in the series. The Maghreb is going into Northwest Africa, that whole region. Mauritania, Morocco, Carthage, which is now known as modern-day Tunis or Tunisia, that whole northwest Africa, Cameroon?
Up to my North Africa, right?
Northwest. It's like northwest, like Mauritania, northwest.
Yeah, Mauritania. You got Tunis.
Let me see. Let me look at Maghreb real quick because Hannibal and them had established settlements there. All right.
Algeria.
Yeah, Algeria. Yes.
And,
Maghreb would be
Libya.
Let me real quick. Let's look at Get and read. I'll look it up. Get and read the rest.
All right. Legends of Semitic migrations into the Maghreb, North Africa. According to most accounts, the earliest Israeli settlements in Africa were in places such as Egypt, Tunisia, and Ethiopia.
Right. Maghreb happens to be the territories of Algeria, Libya, Mauritania, Morocco, Tunisia, which is Mauritania. I'm sorry. Morocco, Mauritania is the same place, same region. Mauritania, Morocco, keep that in mind. Tunisia, which is Carthage, and Sahrawi, Arab Democratic Republic, because Ishmael took over. This is also known as the Barbary states. Okay, Berberi. Okay, term barbarian comes from as well. All right. Remember last week they called us barbarians. If you didn't speak Greek and Latin, you were considered barbarians. Our people in Africa were considered barbarians living in the Barbary states, Maghreb. All right, read it again.
According to most accounts, the earliest Israeli settlements in Africa were in places such as Egypt, Tunisia, and Ethiopia. Historians believe these settlements may have been in existence as early as the kingdoms of David and Solomon, as well as during the Assyrian invasion of northern Israel in 722 BCE.
During the Assyrian captivity, many northern kingdom, we read that last week, a lot of northern kingdom fled into areas of the further east. They went even beyond the so-called Middle East. They went as far as up to Europe, over into the Baltic Sea, over to damn near the borders of China, India. They established some little kingdoms over there. Okay, and some went the other direction. They went further to the west, where Maghreb and so forth we're reading about now. Go ahead, and north of Africa. Go ahead. So a lot of migration took place when the Assyrians came up. A lot of Israel was on the run. We started to flee. We were terrified because the Assyrians were fierce and ferociously terrible people, man. They would torture people. They were really horrible. Even other nations despised them. They were horrible. So when Northern Kingdom and Judah too saw Assyria on the rise and conquered Northern Kingdom, Judah was out. We started to dip too. Even they didn't even attack us. They attacked us also and were successful. But even out of fear of them possibly conquering us, we fled also. Read it again.
According to most accounts, the earliest Israeli settlements in Africa were in places such as Egypt, Tunisia, and Ethiopia. Historians believe these settlements may have been in existence as early as the kingdoms of David and Solomon.
So when David and Solomon were ruling, Israel went further into Africa even during their time. They started migrating and living in those areas even during this time. Go ahead.
As well as during the Assyrian invasion of northern Israel in 722 BCE.
Or the northern kingdom. Go ahead.
And the Babylonian captivity of Judah in 586 BCE. In the Punic Carthaginian age.
See that? In the Punic Carthaginian age. In the Punic Carthaginian age. And it gives you a year. It says some of them fled to parts of Africa during the Babylonian kingdom. We fled there. So Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom fled to the same region together further into Africa because of these two kingdoms on the rise. It says during the Punic Carthaginian age, which is 586 BC. Keep that in mind. Go ahead.
These communities were augmented by subsequent arrivals of Jews after.
Hold on. These communities were augmented means they began to grow in number. Remember last week we became the majority and took over Carthage. We took over North Africa because during the Assyrian captivity and during the Babylonian. And then remember, Alexander the Great was the one that conquered Tyre. So that's more of us fleeing into Africa again. So it's a huge, huge influx of Israel, Northern and Southern Kingdom, fleeing into Africa. Go ahead.
These communities were augmented by subsequent arrivals of Jews after the destruction of the second Jerusalem temple in 70 CE.
Babylon. Wait, I'm sorry. Read again.
These communities were augmented by subsequent arrivals of Jews after the destruction of the second Jerusalem temple in 70 CE.
Right. So the second temple was destroyed, we fled into the same area again, as we did during Babylon's rising and Assyria's rising when Rome attacked us. When Rome attacked us, the Jews fled into Africa. That's in the Bible. We read that all the time. It's in the scriptures. So there was a huge influx of us that fled into areas of what? Of Africa, because we were already there during the time of what? Assyria and Babylon. So we had family. Hey, our family's up in Africa. Let's go there. Remember what Christ said? Flee into the mountains. Flee into the mountains. The mountains is what? Africa.
Right.
Continue.
When 30,000 Jewish slaves were settled throughout Carthage by the Roman Emperor Titus.
Read it again. By what? When 30,000 what?
When 30,000 Jewish slaves were settled throughout Carthage by the Roman Emperor Titus.
So the Roman Emperor Titus, who overthrew Jerusalem, placed Israelite slaves, Judah primarily, slaves, in Carthage, because the Romans conquered Hannibal and made that it became a Roman province. So that area of Carthage, okay, they put slaves there. They put a plantation there. So Judah was put in Carthage also. Hope you understand that. Judah was put in Carthage after 70 AD. 30,000 slaves were put there. That's a very important thing to remember. 30,000 slaves of our people were brought further into Africa as well under King Titus, the son of Vespasian, who overthrew Jerusalem in 70 AD. Okay? Now, read on. Continue.
Africa is identified in various Jewish sources in connection with Tarshish and Ophir, and the parallel passage where African land is evidently the same as Carthage.
Right, African land is identified with Carthage because Carthage was referred to as Africa. Only that portion of Africa, of the continent itself, is called Africa. Only that portion. The entire continent was never called Africa. Only that portion, because a man, well, I'll get to that later on, conquered that area. So in honor of that man conquering that region was called Africa. Okay, as we're going to get into today. So now let's go to Babylon Timbuktu. I'm on page 107.
And Dick, also remember in the beginning when you said that it says about the Israeli settlement. It's not talking about the so-called Jews.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it said Israeli settlement. It says Israeli settlement. It's not talking about no damn imposters. It's referring to our people.
Right.
It's referring to Israelites.
Just to clarify that.
Just to clarify, yeah. Some of y'all thinking white folks ran to Africa. What the hell for? White folks don't run to Africa to hide from white people? What kind of sense does that make? Let's go hide amongst the niggas. We'll be safe.
Right.
Come on, man.
Okay, the final dispersion of the black Jews of Africa.
Hold on, let me get. I want you to start at. We should not forget. You're gonna start there.
We should not forget that the Israelites have been engaged in commercial enterprises, activities, and migrations since Solomon's treaty with the Phoenicians.
Right, since Solomon's treaty with Haram. We read that already. Remember that history parts ago. Go ahead.
The Phoenicians established their metropolis, Carthage, in the 9th century BC.
That's that 9th century goes into 900s BC, 800s, whatever, 840, 900, whatever. Go ahead.
Eventually, they conquered the neighboring tribes from Libya to the Atlantic Ocean.
So the Phoenicians dominated Libya all the way over to Carthage. That was their domain. From Libya and westward, they had the whole top of Africa on lock. That was their whole their colony. All right, go ahead.
Disseminating their Hebrew Phoenician language and culture in every direction.
Right, because they spoke a form of Hebrew as well. Go ahead. But they were not Semitic. They were Hamitic. Go ahead.
The Hebrew Phoenician language and culture were invigorated and strengthened by the deportation and the migration of energetic black Hebrews from Palestine.
There you go. Go ahead.
Ptolemy Soter of Egypt conquered Syria and Phoenicia, deporting more than 100,000 Hebrews. The Persian king, Cambyses, had previously sanctioned the colonization of Hebrews in Egypt. During the wars of the Maccabees,
During the wars of the Maccabees, during the time of the Greeks, go ahead.
thousands of Hebrews became slaves and exiles.
Thousands of Hebrews during the time of the Greeks became slaves and exiles. Go ahead. We fled, we ran, we migrated. There were numerous migrations during these time periods. We read that in the last book. Go ahead.
Ptolemy Lathyrus captured 10,000 slaves from the region of the Sea of Galilee. The kings of Egypt, Psammetichus I and Psammetichus II, used Israelite garrisons on the Egyptian borders near Libya. The wars with Rome compelled hundreds of thousands more to escape into North Africa.
Right, so keep that in mind. It says Psammetichus I and II used Israelite garrisons on the Egyptian borders near Libya. I want you to keep that in mind. That's a very important point to remember. We're going to show you a map of that, okay? I'm going to show you that's an ancient map of that. Continue.
During the Punic Wars and after.
During the what?
During the Punic Wars.
Punic Wars goes back to Phoenician Wars. Phoenician Wars or Punic Wars, okay? That's referring to us. Watch this.
And after. North Africa contained a large Hebrew population.
See that? It contained a large Hebrew population. Why? Because of the Assyrian. Thank you. Because of the Assyrian. Y'all on point now. Very good. Because of the Assyrian conquest, they migrated. Because of the Babylonian conquest, they migrated. And then, of course, during Alexander the Great siege against Tyre, they fled by sea to the same area. So the population was augmented. Then it grew even more after 70 CE or AD during Titus's situation. Okay? Read it again.
During the Punic Wars and after.
So during the wars of Hannibal versus the Romans and after the war, go ahead.
North Africa contained a large Hebrew population. This Hebrew population made converts and intermarried with the Canaanites and the native Africans.
See, this Hebrew made converts when they fall behind our laws. We was in charge now. So they had to abide by our rules and our laws. And we intermarried with the Canaanites or Sidonians because they were there first. And the native Africans that was there as well. We intermingled with them. Okay? Read on.
The city and language of Hannibal. At the ruins of Carthage.
Now, page 108, we're going to stop at their destruction on page 108. So go ahead, continue.
At the ruins of Carthage, archaeologists have found about 4,000 inscriptions in the ancient language of Canaan. Nahum Sloach says these inscriptions date from
the time of
Nehemiah, of Simon the Just, of Hannibal, and of Hasdrubal.
So from Persia, Greece, and Rome. Go ahead.
Says Sloach. And most valuable of all, we have found again the ancient language and writing of Canaan, the rich idiomatic speech of a city which once counted 700,000 inhabitants. And we Hebrew writers, we who write and fill in our biblical tongue, have recognized at once that this recalled Phoenician language is nothing more nor less than Hebrew.
Go ahead.
A pure Hebrew.
A pure Hebrew. Go ahead.
A pure Hebrew dialect.
A pure Hebrew dialect. Go ahead.
Nearly the same as was spoken in the country of Israel.
So these Carthaginians, their Hebrew came from Palestine. These are Israelites. This is not the Hamites, Canaanite Hebrew. This is the Hebrew that derived from our forefathers in Israel, because different dialects. So you can determine. So these guys, the scholars, to determine that the language that was spoken in Carthage with Hannibal and them was the Hebrew that derived from the land of Palestine, Israel, from the Israelites, not the Hamites. Continue.
The population of Carthage was derived from Palestine.
See, there you go. The population of Carthage was derived from Palestine. Go ahead.
And its civilization was Hebraic in origin.
That's not Semites. That's not Hamites. Their civilization was Hebraic in origin. They were Hebrews, Israelites. Go ahead.
Sloach is certain.
Sloach. Now, I got a book written by Sloach right here, because this is a black man wrote this. Y'all don't believe in a white black man, so I'm gonna read from where he's. I read from last week.
Right.
He's citing from this book here by Nahum Sloach. Okay, go ahead.
The population of Carthage was derived from Palestine, and its civilization was Hebraic in origin. Sloach is certain, after much research, that the language Hannibal spoke and in which he directed his troops was Hebrew.
Was what?
Hebrew.
Was Hebrew, because he was an Israelite himself. Go ahead.
Remember,
we read last week that the ones who established themselves since the beginning of the city of Carthage was Zebulun and Asher. They were the first inhabitants. I went over that last week, episode 11. The ones who arrived there with Dido or Alyssa, the ones who are there since the beginning of the time of the city's construction was Zebulun and Asher. Okay, so this
Right.
week, watch. We're gonna read. Watch this.
There is evidence that the Carthaginians possessed a high priesthood, and their ceremonies and sacrifices were similar to the rituals found in the book of Leviticus. According to some inscriptions, the Hebrew tribes of Asher and Zebulun were in Carthage from the foundation of the city.
You read that last week. You read that last week. He's citing from this book here by Nahum Schultz. Go ahead.
At the ruins of Carthage were excavated many inscriptions containing many Hebrew names, such as Joab, Joas, and Joel.
Because Israelites are living there. Go ahead.
The city of Tunis is said to be neither Arab nor European.
Neither Arab nor European there. Go ahead.
Tunis is a Jewish city. Nowhere else does the Jew feel at home as he does in Tunis. Sloat says so beautifully, and indeed, Tunis, the inheritor of Hebrew, Carthage is the eternal city of the Jews.
Go ahead.
For like the phoenix, the Jews have risen again and again out of the ashes of their destruction.
Out of the ashes of their destruction, we always rise, we always fall, we rise, we fall, we rise, we fall. But this time we falling horribly now. So bad we don't even know who we are anymore. All right?
But all praises to our Lord and Savior, the Black Messiah.
Yep, we're
Christ.
coming back. We're
Rise
rising
back
again.
up again.
When we rise
That's
again,
right.
when we rise
That's
again,
right.
when
Don't
we
put
rise
right
again.
Okay, brothers.
That's
Right.
right.
And when we
yeah.
rise again, we ain't falling again.
That's right.
It's the last time we fall, and this is it. So what's happening is we're pretty much entering into the history of the Dark Ages. That's what we're entering in now. We're entering into the history of the Dark Ages. All right? Now, Hannibal and his family, which I did leave out, they come from Libya. That's where they come from. That's why I said earlier that the Carthaginian colonies extended from Libya all the way into Tunisia or Tunis or the Maghreb, Mauritania, Morocco. That was the home base, but most of them migrated from Libya. All right? Now, let's get the Gabi book now. The image, the map. Are you sending to them? I'm going to send you. This is a book that we use all the time by Godby. I have made reference to him last week as well regarding a map that the bishop we use. It's an old book called Lost Tribes and Myths, right?
Yes, sir.
And and this guy, he was a professor of the Old Testament in Duke University in the 1800s when we were still in chains, and he came across information substantiating that the Jews were black, and he was told by his peers that if he were to release information like that into the university, that he would basically lose his job and lose his position. So he basically named it Hebrew Myths or Legends and so forth to give it a mystic-like, fairy tale-ish title, even though it's facts. Okay? So this is a map that he had. This is a map. Now, this book, you are not getting. I'm telling you straight up. If you get it, you got some connections. All right? If you get it, you got some connections.
Right.
We had to heist. We had to do a heist for this joint. we had to find somebody who had some academic connections.
Yeah, connections.
To go to a library, a special library, to pick it up, and we
And
rent
we
it out
take
and
pictures.
rent it out
Yeah, and we take pictures.
and took pictures and all that. Yeah,
right, right.
pretty much. So yeah, we had to pretty much do what we had to do. Pretty much do what we had to do. So now, I read earlier on page 107 of Babylon Timbuktu, it mentions Pharaoh Samik, the first and second of his Israelite garrisons. So if you can bring the screen in some more where it mentions show Samik? I believe it shows him. It's on the far, you should see it. It's near Egypt, I believe. That's Pharaoh. You should see where it says Samik. It says Libyan right there. Desert. You should see Samik somewhere. Let me look for it with you.
That's as far as you can blow it up?
Yeah, you can blow that bigger than that. That map is too big to not be blown up. Hold on. Let me
It's a
look
little
for it.
pixelated. Should be good right here.
All right.
That's cool.
Let me.
He's right here. It's right here, Deacon.
You see it?
Up, Libyan, right above Libyan.
Yeah, but they take the arrow, bring it around it, so they can know what we're talking about.
Can you highlight it?
Right. If you look at
Yeah, it says Samtik the first.
Remember, so the first and second. What's it at?
It's right here above Libyan desert. It's right above it.
Right.
It says Barca.
You see Barca, Cyrenaica. You see that? Barca, Cyrenaica. Cyrenaica is Libya. That's the Greek name for Libya. Cyrene or Cyrenaica, because Libya, they came from there. Barca, Cyrenaica. Okay, and the border extended from there. And you have Samtik the First. It says Samtik the First. And it gives you a year, but I can't really see it. I think it says 600. What else? You should see Leptis. Go over a little bit. Stop right there. See it? Leptis. Remember we read earlier in the book, Caesar and Christ, it said Leptis Magna. That's where Septimius Severus is from. You see it says Sidon, Israel? Sidon, Israel. Because there was a, remember we had a trade with them. Sidon, Israel, those two migrated there together in this area. Sidon, Israel, remember we intermarried with the native Africans that were there. And we became the majority. All right, and converted them. So it says Sidon, Israel there. See that? And it says 800 BC, Sidon, Israel. That's when, what's the name went over there? What's the name? Alyssa went over there. Sidon, Israel, yes.
So I mean to jump the gun, but these territories combined is Maghreb, like you were saying earlier.
No, I'm moving over to that story.
Okay,
I'm gonna show you where. You can yes, it is. Yes, so this is Libya. Right. Yes, this is all Maghreb here. From Libya, we're gonna as we going further over to the left, it's gonna all pretty much go into the Maghreb. You see Tripoli there?
Exactly. I remember you mentioned Tripoli.
Yeah, Tripoli right there. Tripoli is right there. It's in black. No, you don't got to blow it out.
It's in black right there.
It's right there. It's Tripoli right there.
Right.
Tripoli. Tripoli.
Algeria's coming right down.
Algeria's coming up.
Yep.
Move it over. You're going to see Algeria. See right there? Going down. Algeria. This is the Maghreb here. This is the Maghreb.
Right.
All right. Then you see, look over. You see it says Jewish garrisons. See right there in Tripoli? Go back to Tripoli again. You see Jewish garrisons. See that?
Yep.
Yes.
Right between the P and the O. There you go.
Be able to make it a lot easier for the people to see if we just go back into the camera view. If y'all distract them this way.
Okay. Yeah. So they want to go right to another view. So you see how it's pixelated right here?
Okay. So
yeah.
We're gonna switch over.
He's gonna give you this pointer.
Okay.
Pointer. Yeah. So in other words, this matches up with what we just read in the book.
Right, in Babylon Timbuktu, and Caesar and Christ regarding Leptis Magna. I'm bringing it all together for y'all. I'm giving you the maps. This book is very old. So we're going to give you a better, it's going to be clearer, defined image of the map.
Now, when you see the names of these areas, write them down.
Right.
Because what Deacon did was compile all that information and making it more easy to understand. We go in and trying to research that thing. We don't know what the hell we're looking at.
Nah, we don't.
You know what I'm saying? So when you get this information today with the other facts with the books, now you're able to know, okay, if I hear this term, this is what it's pertaining to. Mm-hmm. Because what Esau did, they separated everything. Mm-hmm. They named the lands after them, and we don't know the origin names of who ran these areas. Mm-hmm. So that's why that's important. That's heavy.
And this Edomite that wrote this book, man, he did very extensive and heavy research in order to put a map like this together.
Right. In order to know where Israel's settlements are. This is an ancient map on Israelite settlements in Africa from then until now. Okay, and why? And the time frame when he gives you some of them have, it says like this. See right there, it says Daguerreotype. Or I'll wait till you guys put it up together. I'm gonna show you something else.
Right.
Because there's certain terms he gives us that you don't know what that word means. Like you see the word daguerreotypes. We'll get to that in a minute. I'll wait until brothers put it together first. We'll show you a pointer.
This is how important and special our history is. That these Edomites, they go out their way, man.
To change the names around, all
of that, man, just to hide it.
I mean, too, like, when you look at it, our people spending time on social media, you should be really getting together, sitting down and pulling up books and pulling up research.
Right.
You know, we always say if you guys do research, you find something compelling and you don't understand it, forward it to us and it'll be filtered. It'll be filtered because you don't know what you might come across, you know, how the Lord may put the Spirit on you to come across some information.
Right.
You know, and that's what we do up here. We come with something, we don't know what it is, we bring it to the leadership and, give us more clarity.
Right. Get it
You know,
approved.
Exactly. Yeah, get it approved. Don't be simmering things you don't know out there.
Because a lot of books have bones in them.
Correct.
A lot of books
Correct.
have a lot of bones, so you just gotta be careful what
Mindful.
be mindful
Some
what
of
you
y'all
look.
mess around, lose your mind, man, with a book. Be mindful. Bible has to be your main source.
Correct.
If the history isn't tied to the Bible, it's a waste of your time and hours.
Correct.
So don't bother bring it to me. I'm gonna ignore it. So you send me all kind of crazy books, madness books. What the hell was this?
But it only got a few bones, D. Only a few bones.
That's all it is. All you need is a few to choke.
Hey, you know the book ain't no good. Deke won't say nothing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Look at it. I won't respond. I won't respond. You're right.
We're gonna flush it down the toilet.
Yeah.
Hey, we had Officer LaQuac telling people to burn books. Like, bro, don't be.
Yo,
That's what they did, right?
I
I'm
understand.
going by what the scripture says.
I understand, but there's,
yeah,
the time we
in
live
our
in
land,
right now.
bro.
We could do it a little bit more safely. You don't want nobody burn down their house. You know what
I
I
didn't
mean?
say burn down. I said the books.
But listen, bro,
I said don't bring that to your house.
you know
burn
black people, man. You know what I'm saying? When they burn their house, they like Officer LaQuac said
it. I
the
didn't. No, I didn't say burn down. I said burn the book. So it's garbage.
So in other words, if you could do it safely,
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
if
All
you
right,
have a
thank you.
bonfire,
Discard it. Discard it.
Discard it.
Or you could go outside and take a big a pot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A bonfire in a barrel or something, and do it.
do that. You can do that.
But listen, what Officer LaQuac said that was heavy is that if the book is not
it's not good.
if the book is not good, you don't want to leave it for somebody else to use it and to get confused, especially your people.
Right.
And our brothers just told us, look, you know how it's hard in tabernacles to go cut that firewood. Bring it to the tabernacles.
Right.
Bring all them damn books, right, Officer LaQuac, and safely.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With a supervision.
Safely.
Bring them books to the tabernacle. We could keep warm.
Yeah, that's good.
Eat that rubbish. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
But all praises is all coming out, man.
I want to take a call while I do this.
Sure.
I'll take a call. Okay. People want to call in. You want to
And
call
also, we
in?
didn't give the phone number, did we?
Yeah,
Tell them.
if you want to call in, like, we got a number now. Y'all can, we stepping it up, man. So if you want to call in, we got 267-702-6121. That's 267-702-6121.
Can y'all put it up
If you want to call in, make a comment.
Hey, put the number on the screen, man, so people can see it.
Not a question as of yet because you're not finished. So, if you want to call in, give a shout out, so forth, comment. The line is open while we try to put this together.
Hey, Israel, I'll tell y'all straight up, we love y'all to death. We put in the work for y'all. But some of you simple people, you know what I mean, just watch.
Yeah, I call this segment the call in curse out segment. You call in, you get you call a comment, that's cool, man. You say something stupid, I'm gonna blast you to hell, man.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
Oh, you get the toilet flush.
You get the toilet flush and the ant.
That's it.
The buzzer.
Soldier, can you introduce them?
You're gonna get all that.
That's
You're
it.
gonna get all that
That's it.
humiliation.
So this is a warning right
Yeah.
there.
It's
Just
a warning.
Just call and think really carefully on the question you ask before you call here with some nonsense.
Ponder.
Just think really carefully. Meditate, think. If I ask this question, I want to risk being humiliated on the show for no reason. Just
Right, because, people flush many things down the toilet, but there's a particular thing that gets flushed in the toilet. Don't be that thing.
right.
Don't be that thing.
Don't be that.
Be wise.
Don't bring
Israel.
that either. Don't present that thing either.
For real. So any calls, Israel call in. The number is 267-702-6121. Holla at your deacon. All right. As brothers get this together, we just wanted to show you guys a better and clear image of these areas. Very, very important. You might come across books with the same maps.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's tangible evidence. We could use that.
Right.
So-
Reference. We always use
Cross-reference.
Cross-reference is the best reference.
Yep.
You never have too many of the same things saying the same. You can never have too much of the same thing saying the same thing. It's always
Correct.
good to have the same thing. And the older, the better.
Yes, definitely. This Edomite actually pinpointed where Israel is today. At his time that he put the map together, he actually pinpointed where we were in Africa.
Right.
Right. And how they ended up getting there in the first place.
You know what's another heavy thing too, Deke? How about when, the angels knocked them damn satellites out and we got to migrate.
Right.
We got to learn maps, Israel. We got to learn maps, location, you know. So these things are very, very important. You never seen it, it's going to be something strange to you. But one day we might have to use maps. Ain't going to be no GPS, ain't going to be no Google, nothing.
Right, Ariel are willing Issachar gets that knowledge back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, praise.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why we keep you close, brother. You know what I mean?
In case.
He'll get lost.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Issachar, what's in North Star? What is that? What is it?
up in the north, look up in the sky. Right
Right.
there.
Yep. We
All
up yet? You
praise.
anything up yet?
We got a call.
We got a call? Okay.
He's screening it real quick.
All right.
All right, all praises.
Shalom, shalom. Thank you for calling our Hidden History radio show. What is your name? Where you're from?
So, Israel, once again, 267-702-6121.
Right.
You know,
Thank you for buying time.
yeah, listen, man, it's going to cost you. It's
Yeah,
gonna
man.
cost you.
Yo,
This is
most
unscripted,
definitely
unwritten.
Killing my time, man.
Yeah, I mean, but all good things, hopefully this
all
work out.
good things come to those who wait. All good things come to those who wait. I'm assuming. It's loading up right here. Okay, it's doing something. It's green. All right. I don't know what that means. All right. What that means, green for go. Get this thing done.
Who the caller, man?
Oh, here we go.
All right, that's beautiful.
All right. All praises.
Hey, the brother having his own personal conversation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
You call it told the Deke, but you can holler at me, though.
I answer the questions.
All right, we're going to put the call through. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Shalom, this is Sister Madupe calling from Brooklyn headquarters area.
Hey.
I am
sis.
calling because I'm so excited. I'm so I literally just told the group text I'm about to go get a history high because I learned this stuff in college and I never knew it was about us.
Okay.
And I'm so excited.
All praises. All praises. You're the first caller. All
All
praises.
praises. Good night on and the leadership too. I love it. I really,
All praises.
I'm a
sis.
history buff too.
Yes. All praise to the Lord, sis. I'm glad you called.
All praises.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Keep on keeping on.
Thank you very much,
All
sis. You
praises.
too as
Thanks
well.
for calling,
Much
sister.
love.
Stand tuned.
And also, callers, when y'all call, put down the volume of your TV or
Yeah, so we don't hear the
computer.
feedback.
There's a feedback.
Right, all praise. And sis, also do remember, like, share, and subscribe.
Right.
You know, that, and I'm pretty sure there's many people like yourself that learned this history and didn't know it was about us.
Right.
You know, so now when they get the opportunity to view this, they could link and piece the puzzle together. We got another call?
Yeah, we do.
All right. Shalom, caller. What's your name and where you calling from? Not yet? Okay.
Nice screening. So you got the thing right up now?
Yeah.
All right. So put the map up so everybody can see it now. We're waiting until okay, go on. Wait till the phone call goes through. Then we're gonna give it a what do you call that thing? Something point when you
Pointer.
yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, that thing.
Like a cursor.
yeah.
Plug this right in. That gives it some power.
Could I have the anchor charger, right?
Yeah.
That'll work, right?
And then y'all can point to it.
All right. Yeah, so again, glad you can hopefully y'all get some edification from today's class. It's a lot of stuff. This history is very, very deep, and it extends into a lot of historical events that took place. A lot.
Oh,
A
praises.
lot. I mean, going into as far as, without spoiling it, going into like the Dark Ages,
Dark
The time the
Empire. I mean,
conquistadors came and took over.
Hey, hold on.
hey, whoa.
Hold on.
Who is
caller.
this?
Hey, we didn't.
There's locked them in.
yeah.
We don't even know who this is.
We got to ask you the question, caller. We got to ask you the question.
Hey,
Hey.
shalom.
Thank you for calling the Hidden
you for
History
calling.
Show. Caller, what's your name? Where you from?
Yeah.
My name Brother Mike, man. I'm from Las Vegas. I'm just now coming into the truth like a month ago. I've been keeping up with trying to keep up with my 4 chapters a day, like Bishop said. I understand the history and somewhat from Brother Ethan.
Adon, yes.
Deacon,
yes.
Deacon Ethan.
Yes, sir.
Deacon, sorry about that.
It's all right,
Deacon
sir. It's all right.
And you know, I'm just trying to get it together, man, and get my family together. So I'm just trying to, you know, I got the history down a little bit about how it happened. You know, I got that down.
Uh-huh.
My question is, right now, as I'm coming into the truth, what's the main thing I should focus on for my family? Like, I'm reading my chapters. Should I just start applying my commandments right away?
Yeah. That, by the way, first and foremost, this history class, this is it's like a college. If you just started, you're more so intermediate. This is more of a college. I'm not gonna say. Well, it's college level, I would say, in terms of like the Bible history. Is the Bible? I'm going into like the historical aspect of the Bible and so forth. Which is, it extends in the Bible and outside of it, which makes it more complex and more difficult. So those who've been with us for a while, who are more seasoned, they tend to get a lot of information out of it. And those who love, like the sister called earlier, who are history buffs and love history and went to school or college and learned about it, whatever, they have an interest in it as well. So I understand that. But for you, if you want to know, if you want to really know what's the most important, especially if you're new, is focus on the commandments and getting your house in order first and foremost. You can watch. Of course, you can always enjoy this class. I'm not saying I'll watch this class, but in terms of being new, you want to make certain that you have that stuff, locked in terms of getting your house in order, applying the commandments and so forth. And then, and still watch the show, but that should be your main focus, Don't get too caught up in it. Don't get too caught up in the historical stuff, and then you all, nothing. You mess around, and you all house is all messed up,
Right. Absolutely. And I want to say, man, I love you guys. I watch your shows. I've been keeping up with the history, and it's just, man, it's so hard for a man coming into the truth, dude, to just try to get his house in order and apply those commandments and laws. And if it weren't for you guys, I'd be lost out here. So I'm just saying, man, I want to call and say thank you guys for that.
Well, all praise to the Lord, man. All praise to the Lord. All praise go to the Lord for that, man. I'm just a vessel. I appreciate your appreciation. Thank you very much, brother.
Thanks for calling in, caller. And also remember, like I told the sister, like, subscribe, and share this page.
Yep.
And share this page.
Our Hidden History Radio Show.
Our Hidden History Radio. You can also go to visit the channel on YouTube. Visit the channel as well on YouTube. Get that more subscribers as well. We're trying to feed that more subscribers. So thanks again. Thanks again, brother.
All right. Thanks for accepting my call, guys. I appreciate it.
No
Thank you
worries.
for your call.
Thanks for calling, my brother.
Can I give him a scripture?
Yeah.
Psalms 111, verse 10.
Yeah.
For the new brothers I just called.
Mm-hmm.
Like the deacon was saying with the history, which is good, but the main thing you want to understand the Bible, and for you to do so, this is what the Lord requires of you.
The book of Psalms, chapter 110, verse 111, verse 10. Sorry. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
So that's the first and foremost thing you have to do, bro, is to fear the Lord. And that's how you're going to start getting wisdom of the Bible, right?
A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
So once you start keeping the commandment, you're going to get more understanding how to put your family together and how to walk in this truth.
Right.
Okay?
His praise endureth forever.
Right. That's the first and foremost thing you have to do.
Right.
All praises.
All right, so going back to the lesson now. Lord's will enter one more call, hopefully before the show ends or after the break. Lord's will. So just be patient, y'all. Be patient. They got a lot of calls. I want to get through this. I'm trying to get through this because I got a lot more. A lot to cover. So, where we at? We were in.
We was gonna show the
map,
areas
yes.
of We have Tripoli right here.
Samit the first.
Right. So wherever you point, there you go. Right there.
So,
remember, we was looking in between Tripoli.
Right there.
Can you zoom it in for me, please?
You zoom it
The
in,
Jewish. We was looking at the Jewish garrisons right there.
Yeah. So right here. Oh, you can't zoom in now. You already zoomed in already.
No, he's zoomed in.
And I mean for me.
Or the pointer. Try to move it around, see if it goes.
Nope, it's already zoomed in. It's all right.
Okay.
So you see Samit. That's clearly was more defined. Okay. Doing it some more. It says Samit the first right there. It says 680 BC.
Like 640.
And you see go down, move it down some. You see Barca, move it up some. You see Barca, Cyrenaica. And then you see bring it up some. It says colonies, bring it up some. It says Minoan colony. Minoans are Japheth. Minoan is Japheth. That's Japheth's children, Minoans. Minoan colonies. Japheth had these parts of lands. And then it's Sidon, the Canaanites took some of them over. They took portions of it over. All right? Then it says Leptis. It says Sidon, Israel. 800. That's when she left there. When she fled to Africa when her brother killed the husband, along with Zebulun and Asher, who was her followers. They overcame them, far behind Sidon. All right, let's move it over some. I'm trying to find where it says Dagatons. All right, right there. Go down. Look, it says Jews. What that say there?
Dagaton.
You
Dagaton
see
is right up under.
See right there.
Right there.
Go to the top right. This is something Jews. Under Garten, right there. You see Garten, you see something Jews. Nope, go to the right. Right in the Tripoli section.
Right.
It says Jewish garrisons, go up to the left.
Oh, Berber Jews.
Berber, there you go. Berber Jews.
Berber Jews.
Berber Jews. Berber Jews goes back to the Jews of Maghreb. Berberi. Berber states. Berber Jews.
Right, right.
We're gonna deal with Berber Jews later on in the series. Berber Jews. That's us residing in these areas and further later on into Mauritania. Berber Jews. All right. You see Dagatons. Dagatons is scattered Jews, right, Jess? Dagatons,
Yes, sir.
Dagatons means scattered Israelites, exiles. That's what Dagatons means.
They were warriors.
Right, warriors, warrior exile Jews, Dagatons. It's not a common term you hear all the time. Dagatons is us. All right? Move it over. They can't see?
It's hard. It's pixelated.
Kind of blurry.
For them, it's pixelated for them.
Push it
Well,
back
so
up.
come out a little bit.
Come
And
out
then-
some. Come
and
out
then
some.
you
and
can use
come
the
out some. and
pointer.
Yeah, come out. Use the pointer. Come out some and I'll use the pointer. Can y'all see it now?
Zoom it out.
I'm
Zoom
glad you
out.
guys are making comments. If you can't see, if it's blurry to you, we'll bring it out some, and I'll point to it.
Look at that some more.
All right.
You got some other way out.
Let me know if y'all can. Let me know, and I'll do this. One second. All right. Yeah. So I have to do this. Still too. I can't even see it. I have to go through it myself on my phone. Yeah, we're gonna work out a way for y'all can see it clearer.
They can see it. They can see it.
They can see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it on my phone so I can see it, because I can't see that far.
All right, let me get
Yeah, you use this.
Zoom it out a little bit.
Nah, it's too pixelated.
It's too pixelated, yeah.
I'm looking at it.
You see it's too pixelated too? So when you bring it out, it's more clear, more defined?
This is what they see?
Yeah. No, this is my own picture.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Take that picture, send it to them to see what happens.
So let's see. Let's go over. You have Daguerreotypes. You have says Berber Jews. You have Jewish garrisons. You have Daguerreotypes. Then it says Black Jews. When you go over, you should see Tripoli. You should see Black Jews. Right in the middle, it says Biscuit Jews. Oh, you can do that? All right. Get a more defined image, maybe a higher resolution. Because I know the bishop used this image in mad times, so I know we have higher resolution images, right?
Yeah, I'm sending it right now.
All right. Oh, you have it? Yeah. All praises. Thank you.
All praise.
We have a higher resolution image for y'all, so just bear with us for a moment. We're wasting a lot of time. But this is more defined, more higher resolution.
Could zoom in more now.
Hopefully,
That's the most I can zoom in.
That's the most?
That looks good, though.
That looks good. Looks good. Okay.
You got to point at the areas.
Yeah,
now,
you should
right?
be able to still use the pointer. Should do some little justice now.
All right. So you should see where it says a line. You should see Takif or Takit. It says Algeria. And Algeria is going down. You see Algeria?
Yep, I see Algeria right
All
here.
right, now, if you look, where it says Algeria, over to the right, it says Black Jews, real small. Berber Jews, and look over, next to Berber Jews, you see Black Jews.
Yep,
You see it?
yep,
It says Berber Jews, it says Black Jews.
right here in that area.
Right there, that area. This is Algeria now. All right. Now, let's see. Go up to the top. Atlas Mountains. Go up there.
Right there on top.
Right here.
You're gonna see it says Jews real big on the right hand side of Atlas Mountains.
Yeah, on top, on top.
Right there on top, it say Jews.
Right there. To the right, you're right.
These are our migrations.
My right, my right.
Under Tarshish.
Right there, up, right there.
Around the Tarshish.
Yeah.
Right here.
See it?
Yep.
Jews. Then it's showing arrows. That's us traveling, us scouting all over the place. Arrows. Go over to the left. You're going to see where it says, because it's kind of distorted, because it's red.
Under Spain.
Yeah, under Spain, yes. You see Jews there. I can't define what I can't really see what that says. It says Great Atlas. This is Mauritania here. All right?
That's out by Morocco.
Yes, the same place, the same area. Morocco, Mauritania, right. You're going to see, go down to the left. You see Mauritania, you're going to see it says, watch what it says.
Is that Crete right there, D?
Crete is an island. No, Crete would be,
Right.
no.
Left of Atlas.
Left of Atlas Mountains?
Yeah.
No, Crete is a Greek island.
Okay.
Go over, you're going to see where it says Rio de Oro. To the left. Move it over to the left. To the end of the left. Right off the edge. Go down.
Next to Mauritania.
You see Mauritania, you're going to see Rio de Oro. Go down, you're going to see it.
Oh, there we go, right?
Okay, you see where it says next to it, next to Oro, the O-R-O? It says Cape something. You really see next to it, says Beni what? Beni Musa. That's sons of Moses. Beni Musa, sons of Levi is right there. Okay?
Chaque passé.
Ça passe, right. Go down some, go down. I'm giving y'all too much, but since we're here, I might as well just give it to you now. Go down. You're going to see where it says medieval Jewish kingdom. Go down right there. Medieval Jewish kingdom of Samneri. Jewish kingdom of Ganata. See it?
Yep.
Then it says Lam Lam, once a Jewish colony.
Yeah.
See that?
Yep.
The next to that it says what? Tim what?
Timbuktu.
Timbuktu. We're right, that's our kingdom. Kingdom of Ghana right there. Timbuktu. And you go up above Timbuktu, what's it say above it? Timbuktu, right above it, what does it say?
Daguerreotypes.
Daguerreotypes in Timbuktu. That's Jews scattered in Timbuktu. Right. That's why our book is entitled From Babylon to Timbuktu, because Israel was in Babylon captivity. They fled there into Timbuktu, Africa, further into Africa. What else I want? Let's see. I want someone. Let's go down a little bit. Let's go down. No, do I want to go down there?
It's a lot down there.
That's too much. That's too much.
It's a lot down there.
That's too much down there.
I
That's all I'm going to give you. I'm sorry. That's all I'm going to give you.
I see Ephraim.
Oh, yeah. Go, give him that. I'll give you that. Go down there to Ephraim. You'll see Ephraim right there.
By
Go down.
Dahomey.
You see
Hey,
there, homie? You see.
you might as well then if you're going to
Nah,
go down
man,
to
it's
Ephraim.
Ephraim right there. That's
To the
it.
right,
See
to
Ephraim
the
there?
right.
To the right?
Right there.
Right. Remember, see Ephraim is there. That's Yoruba. That's the Yoruba, so forth. That's it. Get out. Get out of there. That's it.
Hey, I see y'all Laquat looking, man. He looking hard.
He trying to
Hey,
get
hey,
you.
see,
He
see.
trying to
Nah,
get you.
but listen. That's part of the history, Levi history. A lot of us know that a lot of us migrated from Togo and Benin.
Yeah, Benin,
And
yes.
Dahomey played a lot of role in our culture, especially the wickedness. Some of
The
the
slave trade.
wickedness
The Hamites, yeah.
that we take part of came from Dahomey.
Vudun.
Yep.
Vudun came from there, homie.
And
Vudun.
Wida.
And Wida, yeah. Right. Wida's also involved in that nonsense. So now, let's go back to where we was at. We sidebarred. It's 145. Oh, God. We sidebarred a lot. So now, let's get Caesar and Christ now. Page 40. Caesar and Christ, page 40 now. Hopefully, so that map is very, 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 very much, this book is falling apart. Dang. That book is very important. Hard to get. You can get it. You got it like that. Hey, by all means, get it. But you know,
Let's get two.
yeah, get to it. Yeah,
Send one to Deacon.
yeah. I already have one, but just
We got to make sure it doesn't go to Captain Joel's address, though.
Yeah, no, we'll never see it again.
We love you, Cap. We love you.
Cap.
Yo, you know he's gonna call, right?
Yeah.
He might call. He
Miss
might
you,
call.
man.
He might call.
Be like,
Page.
"Yeah, I got kisses on you. I got kisses on all of you.
We're gonna read page 40 of Season Christ. We're gonna go through their coinage. Or page 40 of Season Christ. Through their coinage.
That's where we starting, Deacon.
So we're starting from through their coinage, and we're gonna end at page 41. Glass beads.
All right, yes, sir. Through their coinage was undistinguished. They were apparently the first to issue the equivalent of a paper currency.
So we're the ones that started paper money. You're the first to start paper money. See, that's the thing. Why people think that everything came from the so-called European. It did not.
Lies.
Even the language itself, alphabet, that came from us too. We taught them that too. The Greeks and Romans, their alphabet, alpha, mega, the Latin, that alphabet, that's us. Even the language, English itself, but that's later on. The English language, I'll get to that later on. That's ours too. But. Though the ancient English, not the one we speak now. This is speaking madness. Now we speaking now modern gibberish now. But ancient medieval English, old Quaker English, that's us. But let's continue. So we had paper money. We started off with paper money. Go ahead.
Paper currency. Leather strips stamped with signs of value.
See, so we use leather strips stamped with what?
Signs of value.
Like a dollar sign, a $20 sign, the $5 symbol. We started. That's from us. Go ahead.
And accepted throughout the Carthaginian realm.
Right, go ahead.
Probably it was the rich merchants rather than the aristocratic landowners who provided the funds for those armies and navies, which transformed Carthage from a trading post into an empire.
Right, so we became an empire. We became an empire, a trading empire, and we had armies and we had navies. All right, go ahead.
The African coast, except Utica, was conquered from Cyrenaica to Gibraltar and beyond.
See that Cyrenaica, that's Libya. Cyrenaica, Libya, but in the map, the Gabi map. Go ahead.
Tartessus, Gades, or Cadiz today, and other Spanish towns were captured. And Carthage grew wealthy from the gold, silver, iron, and copper of Spain.
See that? So we took over. We started to take all these lands over piece by piece. Tartessus, Gades, Cadiz, Gibraltar, Cyrenaica, we conquered. We took these lands. Remember, Japheth had these lands. We took it from them. All right, go ahead.
Carthage grew wealthy from the gold, silver, iron, and copper of Spain. It took the Balearic Islands and reached out even to Madeira. It conquered Malta, Sardinia, Corsica.
Now, Malta, the island of Malta, is where Paul was where that snake bit Paul in the hand. He threw it in the fire. That's the island of Malta. We had that land too. That was our colony also.
That's where the barbarians.
That's why Paul went over there, because we were still remnants of us still there at the time.
And they call those people the barbarians.
They call them barbarians. They called them the barbarians. Right, the Berberi. Yes, thank you. That's right. Continue.
Sardinia, Corsica, and the western half of Sicily. It treated these subject lands with varying degrees of severity.
We didn't play people. We didn't play because they had inhabitants that were in those lands. We took it over and made it ours. Go ahead and colonize and intermingle with them. Go ahead.
Charging them annual tribute, conscripting their population for its army, and strictly controlling their foreign relations and their trade. In return, it gave them military protection, local self-government, and economic stability. We may judge the wealth of these dependencies from the fact that the town of Liptus Minor paid 365 talents, which is 1,314,000 today, a year into the Carthaginian treasury.
We was balling, man. We had $1,314,000 a year. We were collecting the taxes, running things,
Getting money.
getting money at the time. Go ahead. Now I'm saying we weren't holy and righteous. Don't get it twisted. We was wicked as hell. But during this time, we ran things. That's all I'm saying. During this time, we dominated. This is what I'm showing you is we're entering now slowly. This is the beginning of stages of the Dark Ages. I'm showing you because Drake wasn't ruling as of yet. At this time, Rome was still on the rise. Blah 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 yada yada. But these settlements established the Dark Ages and us and their descendants eventually taking over Europe. That's what I'm going into. Go ahead.
The exploitation of this empire and trade made Carthage, in the 3rd century BC, the richest of Mediterranean cities. tariffs, and tribute brought her annually 12,000 talents, 20 times the revenue of Athens at her zenith.
So third century goes into the actual Hamites. So they already conquered these areas before Israel came along and took over where they left off. So he's giving you their past revenue and so forth, and what we came into when we took it over in around the 500s BC. All right, go ahead.
The upper classes lived in palaces, wore costly robes, and
I'm sorry, around the 800s or so, maybe before that, around that time. Go ahead, 500s, 800s, around in between that time. Go ahead.
The upper classes lived in palaces, wore costly robes, and ate exotic delicacies. The city, crowded with 250,000 inhabitants, became famous for its gleaming temples, its public baths, above all for its secured harbors and spacious docks.
Yeah, public baths and temples. So we stay clean. It wasn't filthy. Go ahead.
Each of the 220 docks was faced with two iconic pillars. Ionic pillars, so that the inner harbor, Kothon, presented a majestic circle of 440 marble columns.
We had marble columns. 440 marble columns. We talking about marble countertops. Yeah, marble columns.
Imagine how those palaces look.
Hey, those
and temples look.
Right.
Those public baths was also portrayed in Spartacus, and it showed you the only wealthy people could go and wash up, and they had like sanitary like bathrooms. They didn't have just a hole that you just go into. Everything was sanitary. Everything was good, but really not them. That was us. You know what I mean? We had the understanding to be clean.
You going?
Thence, a broad avenue led to the farm, a
colonnaded square.
A colonnaded square adorned with Greek sculpture and containing administrative buildings, commercial offices, law courts, and temples.
We had commercial offices. We had law courts, City Hall, Wall Street. We had all of that among ourselves.
And Dick, if you look at it, right, they still kept the Greek
customs. Yes, we did. Right, we still maintain the Greek assimilation somewhat. That's why I said we run holy.
And they ran away from the Greeks to start that.
Right, only to copy it for themselves.
Right.
Go ahead.
Or law courts and temples, while the adjoining streets, orientally narrow, teemed with 1,000 shops, plying 100 crafts and resounding with bargaining.
Go ahead. We had streets. Go ahead.
Houses rose to 6 stories and
we had 6-story houses. 6-story houses. 6-story houses. 6 floors. Go ahead.
And often crowded a family into a single room.
Damn.
In the center of the city, providing one of many hints to the later builders of Rome, stood a hill or citadel, the Bysra. The Bysra. Here were the Bursa. Here were the treasury and the mint, more shrines and colonnades, and the most brilliant of Carthaginian temples, to the great god Eshmun.
Pagan as hell. Go ahead.
Around the landward side of the city ran a threefold protective wall 45 feet high, with still higher towers and battlements. Within the wall were accommodations for 4,000 horses, 300 elephants, and 20,000 men. Outside the walls were the estates of the rich, and beyond these, the fields of the poor.
See that? So we had big, high-built walls. We had rich and poor. Go ahead. We're gonna stop at what did I say? Stop at glass beads. Keep going. We're gonna see who these Carthaginians are. Watch.
The Carthaginians were Semites.
The Carthaginians were Semites.
Oh,
they were
praise.
Semites. Watch this.
Akin in blood and features.
They were akin in blood and features. Go ahead.
To the ancient Jews.
They were akin in blood and features to the ancient Jews. Thank you. Now you're all right.
My man, so confused.
He's like,
yes?
I'm trying to get his attention. Like,
oh, man. No, the Carthaginians were akin in blood and features to the ancient Jews.
There you go.
So they were Jews. They were akin and features and blood to the ancient Jews. Ancient Jews. All right? Same people. Go ahead.
Their language now. And then struck a Hebraic note.
Their language now and then struck a Hebraic note. That's in Babylon, Timbuktu. Same thing. Go ahead.
As when it called the chief magistrate shofets, the Hebrew shofetim.
Plural. Go ahead.
Or judges.
They called their chief magistrates judges. Shofets. Keep that in mind. Keep that word in mind. Shofets. Or shafet, as in judges. Keep that in mind. Shafet. Watch it. Keep on going. Go ahead.
The men grew beards,
The men grew beards in their face. Go ahead.
but usually shaved the upper lip with bronze
And
razors.
shaved their mustaches low. Go ahead.
Most of them wore a fez or a turban,
He wore a fez or a turban. Go ahead.
shoes or sandals, and a long, loose gown. But the upper classes adopted the Greek style of dress,
Upper classes of us adopted the Greek style of dress. Watch this.
dyed their robes with purple,
We dyed our robes. We wore purple robes. Watch this.
and fringed them with glass beads.
They fringed their garments with glass beads. They wore glass beaded fringes on their clothes. Greek style, but still fringed.
Right, to keeping the law.
Keeping the laws.
That sense of the law.
Right.
Yep.
Like how we do today, pretty much. You have these shirts we wear. This is not our style.
Right.
But we fringe it.
Right.
You understand? Same thing. Same exact thing. So now, what I want. Let's go back to where we at? Hold on. Beads. Let's get African presence. Page 11. Regarding Hannibal. Remember, see, he was in kin and blood, and the Carthaginians were akin in blood and features to the ancient Jews, right? Page 11 now. This coin is very, very popular. This coin we're going to look at is very popular. It's a description of, remember it said we had minted coins, and we also had money currency.
Right.
We had minted coins. Now, when you mint a coin, you're not going to put a regular servant or slave on your coin. You put someone of significance or status on the coin, like the presidents or a Caesar, like Christ said. Who do you render, whose inscriptions on this coin?
Right.
Caesar. So now, page 11, we're going to start at, I point to the new. I point to the new on page 11.
Go up. It's at the top, D.
I marked it. Yeah, I point to the new. It's a pencil mark.
Okay, go down, go down, go down.
Right there. I point. It's not marked. Okay, I point to the new. Right there. I point to the new. All right. I point to the new.
Put a cursor there.
Right there to the corner. Right there.
I point to the new skeletal evidence in Carthage at the height of its power.
We just read the height of its power just now. We just read it. How they were living, how their money currency was, their navy bases, their walls, the rich, the poor, their streets, the money they made, the tribute and so forth later on in place of the Sidonians. Go ahead.
In the time of Hannibal, which establishes it as largely Africoid in a physical sense and largely African in a cultural sense.
Because when we follow African gods. Go ahead.
Heretofore, it has always been claimed to be a mere extension of the Phoenician or Punic Empire.
Phoenician or Punic, which is the same word. Pony is Punic. Phoenician or empire. Go ahead.
I look critically at terms like Moor, Arab, Berber, and Libyan.
Remember that? Berber Jews in that map we saw on Godby's map. Berber Jews. So he said, I focus critically at the term Moor, Arab, Berber, or Libyan. Why? Because whenever you deal with the Messiah, for example, his description, what does the white man say? Oh, he was Middle Eastern or Arab. Mm-hmm. Watch what he says here. Watch.
Which means entirely different things to different historians.
Which mean different things to different historians. Watch this.
And which have been used indiscriminately as racially, culturally, or geographically discrete entities. The confusion springs at times from an innocence of the multiple mixings and movements in Northern Africa and Europe, but more often than not, from a deliberate attempt to deny the African any major role in the world's great civilizations.
What does that mean? That means that they used these four terms, Moor, Arab, Berber, and Libyan, to say, rather than to say it's a Negro, they throw out, oh, he's an Arab. Oh, it's a Moor. Oh, it's a Libyan, rather than to say Negro.
So it keeps the confusion
going around.
Going around.
So you may be reading about one person and say, oh, he's an Arab. Meanwhile, he's a Moor. You read about another person, oh, he's a Berber. Meanwhile, he's an Arab. You understand? They mix it. It's all confused. You got to do more. That's why we tell you, you got to do your research, cross-reference to know what is what and who is who. Because Esau played games. This is semantics here. Jump down to verse, the word more.
The word more has its origins in 46 BC. When the Romans invaded West Africa,
the Romans invaded West Africa, that was a term that they gave to the inhabitants of that land. West Africa, go ahead.
They called the black Africans they met there Moors.
Moors, go ahead.
From the Greek word moros, meaning dark or black.
So that's you get the term Morocco or Mauritania. That means land of the blacks. Mauritania. All right, now, that's all I want. Let's jump to page 138. So that's more is a term Romans gave us.
So more is a nationality.
Right, it's just the complexion.
Crazy ass Negroes.
I'm a Moor.
I'm a Moor. What's your nationality? I'm a Moor.
That foolish looking hat.
The fez. Remember, we wore that. It says that the Carthaginians wore a fez or a turban. 138. Now you see a young man. Who happened?
Mr. LaQuack said that's his baby picture.
Damn. So you see here it says perhaps this image here. Go up, please. Go up to the writing above.
Perhaps it belonged to the real Phoenician, but most of the Punic population in Carthage had African and even Negro ancestors.
Well, what?
Says perhaps it belonged to the real Phoenician, but most of the Punic population in Carthage had African and even Negro ancestors.
African and Negro ancestors. They intermarried with them. We read that in Babylon Timbuktu. They intermarried. Go ahead.
There are repeated references in many documents to the massive intermixing.
You read it earlier. Massive intermixing of Negro and Africans. Two different people. You see here different descriptions of the coin they found. You see the elephant on one side of the coin and the face on the other. Go down to the bottom.
Blow it up.
Read that.
African faces on the coins of Carthage. Elephant represented on the other side of coins seemed a memorial to Hannibal's march across the Alps and his victory over the Roman army. The panorama of faces, of which these are a few, indicate the Africoid ancestry of the Carthaginians at the time of Hannibal.
Give it earlier that they were what? That they were akin in blood and ancient features to the ancient Jews. They had Negro features. Now, jump over to page 139. We have it marked off. Nevertheless, watch this. Watch this now. I'm going to show you how evil these historians are. Watch. Read that.
Nevertheless, there are some extremely interesting pictorial representations which appear on Carthaginian coins in the time of Hannibal. There is a fine reproduction of it in Professor Frank Snowden's book Blacks in Antiquity. See figure 2. Here we have a type which gels with Professor Gisselle's skeletal evidence and which is identified as to period and purpose by the depiction of the African elephant on the other side of the coin.
Watch this.
As we all know, Hannibal performed the greatest military feat of ancient times by the use of African elephants.
Right, crossing the Alps. Go ahead.
Africans also were in the van of the army of the Carthaginians, now known to be largely Africoid people. Yet Snowden claims that these are representations of some of Hannibal's mahouts, elephant riders, while other Africanist historians claim this is Hannibal himself.
So Esau says, Europeans say that the guy in this coin is not Hannibal himself, but his servant or elephant rider, not Hannibal. Why would you put your servant on a coin? For what?
Makes no sense.
That makes no sense. No one does that. Continue. Watch this.
The Carthaginians rarely use coins or statue or stela to depict a figure not in the pantheon of gods or in the aristocratic hierarchy, and would deny a figure's centrality or prominence to indicate its comparatively lower social plane or stature.
Meaning they're not going to put a regular person on a coin. A regular guy, and oh yeah, he rides an elephant. Put him on a coin. I mean, that makes no sense. What he's saying is the person on this coin is Hannibal himself. This is Hannibal. Young 20-something-year-old Hannibal on the coin. That's who it is, not his elephant rider. That's stupid. Go ahead.
We would therefore like to know which European speculator started this story about these coins representing mahouts. And we would like to ask Professor Snowden to enlighten us on this question.
Because he started it. Go ahead, saying this nonsense. Go ahead.
For we have seen an Egyptian pharaoh identified by a major British journal as a dancer because it was too obviously Negroid.
So here's the image of an Egyptian pharaoh being black, and rather than say it's pharaoh, so he was a dancer.
Man, these people.
Lying, man. Just lying. Go ahead.
and this is what we do today, right? This is what we do. We do all time of coonery dancing.
Right.
So it's not far-fetched for our people to relate to that garbage.
Right. Go ahead.
And coming from a period not conventionally associated with such ignoble types.
Yeah.
But whether Hannibal was an indigenous African or not is irrelevant. Carthage, as a civilization, was largely African before the Roman conquest and rebuilding.
That's all I want. So the person on that coin, go back to the image again of the coin, that's Hannibal on the coin. That is not a mahout. That's Hannibal. Okay? In his 20s, when he took over his father's military, when he died, when his father passed on.
So
he passed the torch.
So the leader is going to take time just to put
this slave on the coin.
On the coin.
Go
you know how long it takes?
Go put your cook on the coin.
So hold on, why America never put us on a dollar bill, on
right,
a quarter
right.
yet? At least a penny.
They
Damn.
wouldn't even put Harriet Tubman on the damn coin.
I mean?
They're fighting that.
They just wouldn't do it.
They ain't doing it.
They just wouldn't do that, man.
Not that it don't matter, but they're not doing it. All right, so we're gonna go on break. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, right? All right, so stay tuned, stay with us. Lord's will, my child finishes up. Dude, you lost a lot of time. Shalom.
Shalom.
They try to put us under. When they're strong as our weakest. They try to put us under. They try to put us under. No longer we teachers be moved to a corner. But we rise to the summit. And we rise like the center. I'm Bobby Boucher. I'm Bobby Boucher. When it comes to that water, I'm Bobby Boucher. I'm Bobby Boucher. When it comes to that water.
Like Bobby Boucher, I'm cooking my ways. Building up my faith. I'm on my way. Walking through them gates. Hoping that I get saved. They try to put us under, but we rise to the summit. No longer will I teach you be moved to a corner. They try to put us under, but we rise to the summit. No longer will I teach you be moved to a corner.
We the best like Ali, without the shakes. Heaters burn at noonday, call it wake and bake. Water rising up, understanding, make you elevate. Water boys with fridges on, drink and hydrate. Young man, endure to the end. Every night I pray. Make sure you stay thirsty for the word. That's what Captain say. Drinking this rock, you never thirst again. That's what Jesus say. Make it so you may die in this life and never pass away.
They try to put us under. They try to put us under. No longer we teachers be moved to a corner. But we rise to the summit. And we rise like the center. I'm Bobby Boucher. I'm Bobby Boucher. When it comes to that water, I'm Bobby Boucher. I'm Bobby Boucher. When it comes to that water.
Like Bobby Boucher, I'm cooking my my ways, building up my faith. I'm on my way, walking through them gates, hoping that I get saved. They try to put us under, but we rise to the summit. No longer will our teachers be moved to a corner. They try to put us under, but we rise to the summit. No longer will our teachers be moved to a corner.
Yeah, that's that water, water, water. Gotta teach it to your sons and your daughters. It can solve all your issues. Look at everything we've been through. We supposed to be drowning in it, sounding it, happy and smiling when we get it. But we so wise to do evil. You know we a stiff-necked people. We need that water by the word and stop believing what you heard. We need that never thirst again. You didn't lead that church that you in. Cause if your pastor was Pinocchio, then his nose would be long as hell. Colossians 3:9. So he need to be going to jail. Creflo steal your dollar. TD, he's a snake. Lion, Kermit Thomas. Be poisoning all the jakes. They try to put us under, but we rise to the summit. No longer will your teachers be moved to a corner. They try to put us under, but we rise to the summit. No longer will your teachers be moved to a corner. They try to put us under. They try to put us under. No longer will your teachers be moved to a corner. But we rise to the summit, and we rise like the sun. I'm Bobby Boucher. I'm Bobby Boucher. When it comes to that water, I'm Bobby Boucher. I'm Bobby Boucher. When it comes to that water,
like Bobby Boucher, I'm building my ways, building up my faith. I'm on my way, walking through them gates, hoping that I get saved. They try to put us under, but we rise to the summit. No longer will our teachers be moved to a corner. They try to put us under, but we rise to the summit. No longer will our teachers be moved to a corner.
Now that's what I call high quality H2O. What is that?
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. Iuic has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road. Purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. Iuic, we deliver the truth.
Yeah. We're only as strong as our weakest. We're the Jews that do what you won't do. Like after prayer, go and get it. Might as well boycott marching. Cause after King, it ain't it. Got keeping these laws, yup. The first thing on my hit list. Got enough wine in my cup. With a patch of beer to go with it. I'm illuminated, I shine. No recompense for your crimes. What's missing in unity was a lot of you in and not I. Got IUIC up in the forefront, and instead of love, you despise. How we supposed to come together when we add all you do is divide? Never break, they say they made it, but the people at the bottom made. Now we say that our God is great. The sons of God are woke and they never break. They say they made it, but the people at the bottom made. Now we say that our God is great. The sons of God are woke and they.
We the most hated in all the lands because we know the truth. On the corners pulling scriptures, but that's not all we gon' do. We don't lie, we don't steal. Serve Most High with our zeal. We gon' grind, ain't no chill. Serve Most High with our zeal.
These boys don't know what's finna happen. Them boys about to break this up right now. Break this up right now.
Good afternoon. This is South Florida Park Security. How may I help you today?
Yeah, hello. I see a bunch of blacks and Hispanics. They getting ready to fight. Look like it's about to be a riot. I think I see some guns too.
Oh, this is unfortunate. Where are you located, sir?
Yeah, I'm pulling up to the park right now.
Well, how do you know that they're about to fight?
Shout out to the haters. Israel, yeah, we made it. Call them out, make them fake it. Call them out, make them fake it. Vocab, we smell your bacon. You sisters, we see you waiting. Wicked brothers, we hear you stating. The prophets, we stand impatient. A Messiah to render judgment. The Israelites gonna love it. The prophecies you do not fit. The king said you will not sit. Black Messiah, yeah, we rich. Black Messiah, yeah, we rich. Making them mad with the truth. Southern poverty, law is sick. James Esau, now you quiet. Cause you see that we ain't lying. We the people of the book. Spiritual Israel be silent. Your pastor left you on the island. Don't know the truth, now you was crying. Join the prophets, yeah, we got you. Join the prophets, yeah, we got you.
We the most hated in all the lands because we know the truth. On the corners pulling scriptures, but that's not all we gon' do. We don't lie, we don't steal. Serve Most High with our zeal. We gon' grind, ain't no chill. Serve Most High with our zeal.
Hey, shout out to all you heretics out there, man. Same old spiggers. Yeah, one time for you heretics. One time for you dumbass. Two times for you brothers that ain't doing. You just clickbait. Y'all, this ain't a diss tape or some truth tape on a mixtape. Keep the laws, but you still hate. One time for you heretics. One time. Two times for you brothers that ain't doing. Come on, you just clickbait. Y'all, this ain't a diss tape or some truth tape on a mixtape. Keep the laws, but you still hate.
Under submission to you. Tell me what you want me to do. You're like a dream come true. Lifestyle, one husband. He's my lord. Here's your tea, my lord.
Max. The song is almost done. Tell me what you think. Yo, Energy Wolf, Wagwan.
Yo, shalom, most and Christ bless.
Yo, the tune Hot Bridging. Come to, man.
Yo, what you said? The tune are going wicked?
Yeah.
The tune we do the other day? Yo, for real? Yo, you know what the man said? Yo, the tune are going wicked, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, so, yeah, what? We're up on way over there, man. We're up on way over there. You see me? Alright? Yeah, alright, yo, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, that's good. Alright, that's nothing, alright? Yeah, for real.
Under submission to you. One man, you're the one I dream of. Tell me what you want me to do. Baby, you show me what is true love. Under submission to you. One man, you're the one I dream of. Tell me what you want me to do. Under submission to you. Tell me what you want me to do. You're like a dream come true. Lifestyle, one husband. He's my Lord, he's my Lord. He's my Lord, he's my Lord. Baby, you show me what is true love. One man, you're the one I dream of. It's true, you're the one I do love. I'm with you, so I don't need a new love. Was a fight in my mind. Time after time, I cannot deny it. Then you open my eyes, then you show me the light, and I finally realize. Under submission to you. Tell me what you want me to do. You're like a dream come true. Lifestyle, one husband. He's my Lord, he's my Lord. He's my Lord, he's my Lord.
One woman satisfy me. Ride out that, yeah, she stay by me. Men have to deal with the white nor the Chinese. Black woman, that's my wifey. My house, me run that. If a man can't rule, fire burn that. I feel submit, me no take that. But me know say some man no get that. Them still no she stay with me. And she know don't play with me. Don't grow old in her age with me. And spend all her days with me. Cause I make her plans to see. My love I don't make believe. And she says she'll never leave. If faithful she'll always be. Tell them baby girl.
Under submission to you. Tell me what you want me to do. You're like a dream come true. Lifestyle, one husband. He's my Lord, he's my Lord. He's my Lord, he's my Lord.
Listen, man. Like Eve, women was created to serve men, but the white man said 50-50%. Revelation 12:9 of the scripture show them. That same deceiver is the serpent. Section 8, who you think she perceives as her head? With the white image of Jesus he put into her head. When you demand respect like Mr. Birdman, them a look and you're crazy like it's a bird. When this occurs, vexed and pissed at her, left the kids with her when she dissed the program. Things get worse when the children don't have a male figure in the house to whoop and grow them. Half young girls the opposite of virgins and dogs go to jail until the world ends. Don't make peace or the devil twist up your meds. This one is a brother to sister moment.
Under submission to you. Tell me what you want me to do. You're like a dream come true. Lifestyle, one husband. He's my Lord, he's my Lord.
Yeah, man, this is a family matter, man. To all of the man, you understand? According to the scripture, hear this. Saying I love you can't take care of children. You have to provide food and plate for them. Give the woman money, nice appearance for them. Stop depend on your parents, your parent for them. You have to have pity and patient with them. Great bear compliments and get straight confidence. It's not complicated if you comprehend that you have to love your wife like you do love yourself.
Under submission to you. Tell me what you want me to do. You're like a dream come true. Lifestyle, one husband. He's my Lord, he's my Lord. He's my Lord, he's my Lord. Baby, you show me what is true love. Under submission to you. One man, you're the one I dream of. Tell me what you want me to do. Baby, you show me what is true love. Under submission to you. One man,
we're back. After a quick commercial break, we are back, and we're gonna start off with where we at? Left off with where we left off at? Hannibal and the coinage of Hannibal.
Coinage of Hannibal, yes, sir.
Right, the coinage of Hannibal and the nonsense that they try to push regarding his servant being on a coin, which makes so damn sense. So let's get some more. Let's get next book, the Indians. Page 22.
Yes, sir.
Page 22. We're gonna start at hold on. What I want to start? Started hold on.
So, like Deacon was bringing out before, we took over Carthage. All right, we took over Carthage. All right, remember you have the tribes of Zebulun and Asher. All right, that followed behind the Phoenicians at the time, but we became the majority, and we ended up taking over Carthage and making it into an empire. All right, so that's what we was reading prior to break.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're going to start with the Incas. The Incas had the largest ships. Page 22. I know it's page 22. Hold on a second. It mentions the Incas. Yep, right there at the bottom. The early Spanish explorers, page 22. And we're going to end at carry more cargo. Somewhere on those lines. The bottom paragraph of page 22.
All right. There were a number of other sightings and captures of balsa rafts by the Spaniards. Right here, Deacon?
No, the early Spanish explorers record many voyages.
Second paragraph. Right here.
The early Spanish explorers record the many voyages the Inca made with these balsa. And read, blow it up some.
Raft.
All right, read raft type ships out into the ocean to the Easter Islands and back. A Spanish missionary, Father Jose de Acosta, who spent 14 years in Peru, recorded in his natural and moral history of the Indies.
I believe this is the same jerk idiot that says that they're not Israelites.
Right, that's him.
This is the same guy. All right, go ahead.
They should have killed him.
Yeah.
That the Inca Indians at Ica and those of Arica, Chile, 750 miles to the south, told the Spaniards that in ancient times they used to sail into the South Seas, where they visited some islands very far away toward the west.
So they sailed the seas. Watch this.
Before the Spanish landed in Peru, a report was sent by Juan de Samanos to the Spanish Emperor Carlos of a large raft sighting and captured by Francisco Pizarro and his pilot Bartolomé Ruiz in 1526 in the opposite direction. No, in the sail
as they sailed south of northern Ecuador.
As they sailed south northern Ecuador, they reported seeing a large raft of almost equal size of their own in the opposite direction.
Of their own ship going in the opposite direction.
The large raft was captured by the Spaniards and was found to have a crew of 20 Indian men. They noted it was a merchant vessel, heavily laden with cargo, estimated about 36 tons as compared with the 40 tons of their own caravel.
So when the Spaniards showed up to the Americas, they found the Incas, natives had ships larger than their own, sailing, that can carry more cargo than their own. So when you hear these idiot Israelites say they didn't have ships to travel to the side of the world, you are retarded. Stop talking, please. You know what you're talking about. This is regular. This is local. They had ships larger than the Spaniards for local travel. It can carry more men and heavier cargo. Read on.
The descriptions match similar historic records of constructed large records of simply constructed large rafts. Many thousands of years ago, ancient travelers, utilizing primitive rafts along with the lower sea levels, could possibly have traveled from island to island to cross the Pacific. There were a number of other sightings and captures of balsa rafts by the Spaniards. Pizarro, as he invaded the open Gulf of Guayaquil, as he crossed the Gulf to the Peruvian port of Tumbes.
No, there were a number of other sightings and captures of balsa rafts by the Spaniards. Pizarro, as he invaded the northern coast of the Inca Empire and approached Santa Clara Island, overtook 5 sailing balsa rafts in the open Gulf of Guayaquil. Come on, Adon, help me out there.
Guayaquil.
There you go. Thank you, sir. As he crossed the Gulf to the Peruvian port of Tumbes, Pizarro saw a whole flotilla of balsa rafts. Let's see. So basically, they had huge ships that was able to get them from one place to the other. That was twice the size of Spaniard ships.
So in other words, they wasn't savages.
They were not.
They were civilized.
They were not savages.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if Jose de Acosta is such a demon, he saw these ships and still said they didn't cross. They came to a land bridge. Show you how demonic this guy was. They had the devil on him. All right, that's all I want. So now let's get page 23. Page 23. We're gonna start where it says in the old. And we're gonna read all the way into page 24. So start with page 23. Next page. In the old. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Page 23. In the old.
In the Old Testament, it is noted that in 900 BC, King Solomon employed Hiram of Tyre in Phoenicia.
Hold on. In the Old Testament, what?
In the Old Testament, it is noted that in 900 BC.
Remember that? We always come across that year. 1000, 900 BC. We always come across that time frame in Solomon's travels, his naval fleets and explorations. It's around this time. Remember we read about the Native Americans to this side of the world. It says they're around here around 1200s, 900s BC. Same time. Go ahead.
King Solomon employed Hiram of Tyre in Phoenicia to build large ships that would enable him to trade in Ophir, Somalia, or India.
Right, so we sailed the Pacific Ocean as well as the Atlantic. Go ahead.
From 500 BC to 1 AD.
From 500 BC to 1 AD. Remember, 500 BC is when the Carthaginians started taking over. Punic. It said during that time. All right, it's during the time of Babylon started rising up later on. Go ahead. To 1 AD. Go ahead.
The Minoans.
Minoans is Japheth.
Etruscans.
Is Japheth again.
Phoenicians.
Phoenicians is, the ancient Phoenicians will be Ham. Go ahead.
Celts.
Celts are Celts. That will be 3 types of people. Japheth Celts, the ancient ones, and you had the Israelite Celts, and you had Edomite Celts.
Would be the Irish, right?
Whites, right, the white ones. But the original, well, we're going to get to that, the Celts. So keep the term Celts. I'm not jumping ahead. I'm getting excited. I hear words, I'm like, oh, Celts, all right. So I'm going to try to calm down, but keep the term Celts or Celts in mind. Celtic, whatever. Right. Keep it in mind. Go ahead.
Libyans.
You remember Libyans? Remember that before? I was a colony of the Carthaginians. Libyans, go ahead.
Greeks and Romans left records of their ships on pottery decorations and inscriptions.
Right, go ahead.
A 600 BC relief shows a full-hulled trading ship from Spain with an approximate length of 110 feet.
So a 600 BC relief shows a full-hulled trading ship from Spain with an approximate length of 110 feet. Go ahead.
The Greek historian Herodotus gives a detailed description of a Phoenician fleet hired in 500 BC by Pharaoh Necho.
So 500 BC is when Jake starts taking over. There's a Phoenician fleet hired in 500 BC by Pharaoh Necho. Not only taking over. He arrived 500, 800, it's just backwards. Yeah, so 500 is later on, right? 800 backwards. This is later on. Yes, it's Jake taking over. So it's fleet hired in 500 BC, right? A fleet hired by Pharaoh Necho. Go ahead. Or Necho. Go ahead.
About 450 BC, the Carthaginians fully integrated and superseded the Phoenicians.
See, about 450 BC, the Carthaginians fully integrated and superseded the Phoenicians. We took over and we left off and we superseded them in trade and so forth in the colonies. You read this? Oh, we've been reading this for the past half an hour or so.
Right.
The Carthaginians fully integrated and superseded the Phoenicians. So they took over where Ham or ancient Phoenicians left off. Go ahead.
From their seaport.
From their seaports. Go ahead.
Along the 1400s.
Remember, the Phoenicians were the ancient Walmart. They were the ancient Costco's, BJ's of their time, Amazon of their time. We took over in that business. Remember, we worked for them. It mentions Judah, it mentions Israel, it mentions Dan. So we already knew the ports. We knew how they worked. So we took over. It wasn't that hard to take over. Go ahead.
The Inca stones were rounded rather than square.
So wait. Phoenician seaports along the Mediterranean. You got that? Along the Mediterranean? Along the Mediterranean is where we're at. Don't skip around. We're going to stop at page 25. No, we're going to stop. Wait, we at?
Page 22, 23, and page 40.
How do I have 24?
No.
I need 24.
No, there it is. 24. Right
24, yes. So, hold on. From their seaports along the Mediterranean.
Yeah, that's it, Deacon.
Go ahead, come on. We're going to stop at, and it says America. Keep going.
Along the Mediterranean.
So, wait, I'm going to read it again. It says, the Carthaginians fully integrated and superseded the Phoenicians from their seaports along the Mediterranean Sea. That's so you have Tarsus, you have Phoenicia, you have Greece, Crete, all borders the Mediterranean Sea. Go ahead. And the Mediterranean Sea eventually floods into the Atlantic Ocean. All right, read on.
Their large ships traveled to Africa.
So their large ships, the Carthaginians, their large ships traveled to Africa. Carthage, watch this.
India and Britain.
And where?
And Britain.
That's an important part. That's an important part to remember. And their ships traveled to Africa, India. Remember Solomon's travels back to Ophir, Pacific Ocean, and Britain. Why they go to Britain for? Continue.
And were reported to have crossed the ocean waters to America.
Oh. And their ships were reported to have crossed the ocean to America. The Carthaginians came to the Americas. It's reported. They did. That's all I want. But keep Britain in mind, though. That lets you know they was over here. Now, we sailed the Atlantic and the Pacific. From Solomon until Carthage. Now, let's get page 24. No, page 24. Page 40. There was a large. Why did I close the book for? Page 40. There was a large.
You excited, D?
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's like you wanted to drop the mic, but you closed the book.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Page 40, we're going to start at, there is a large. Large body of.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
And we're going to stop at Central America.
There is a large body of evidence indicating that the Phoenicians traveled to America.
Oh, my gosh, man. I'm telling you, man. Carthaginian, same thing. Go ahead.
Ancient Egyptians records show that in the 6th century BC, Pharaoh Necho commissioned the Phoenicians to sail around Africa to the New World.
This is rumor. Go ahead.
The Phoenicians were noted for their seafaring skill and adventures, and for their ships, which were larger than those used by Columbus.
We had ships larger than Columbus's ships. We had ships larger than Columbus's ships. So who's to say we couldn't get over here? Where y'all getting y'all understanding from? We had ships larger than Columbus's ships. We were far more advanced than Columbus. Esau played catch up with us. That's why it took a hard time for the Romans to defeat Hannibal niggas. They were seafaring experts.
Hey, D, one thing that's coming to mind hearing this history right now is now you begin to think why Pharaoh treated Israel the way he did when we was in their land. Remember in Exodus, the first chapter, he said, look at the people of Israel are becoming
greater, more
and mightier than us.
Right.
And if they fall out of war, they could join side with the enemies and conquer us.
Right.
But when you look at that here, they did that by themselves. They didn't need no allies.
Yep.
to learn how to gain that wealth.
Right.
We had our own money system. We had empires. Now we talking about ships for
Right.
commerce, to traveling.
Right.
You know.
So
Sorry to cut you off. So same thing today. Our oppressors that read our history, they know where to cut our resources off.
Right.
For example, education.
Mhm.
If we lack in education, could we come back to this understanding?
Right. You can't. So the rumor of Pharaoh Necho commissioning them to come to America, no. Now, him commissioning them to sail the Atlantic Ocean, yes. Commissioning them to come to America, no. They knew about America long before the Pharaoh came around with that nonsense. All right? So it says their route, stop from there, their route. So we had ships that were larger than those that were used by Spaniards, by Columbus. Go ahead.
Their route would have taken them to the eastern part of Central America.
Their route would have taken them where?
To the eastern part of Central America.
You see that? That route would have taken them to America. Go ahead.
An ideal corroborated by the similarity between the pictorial hieroglyph style of writing and pyramid-type structures found in Egypt, and in sites inhabited by the Olmec and Maya civilization in Central America.
So what's this author saying? What's the author saying? He's saying that the same writings and structures you found in Egypt, you find it among the Olmecs and the ancient Mayan civilizations because they were among the Egyptians. They were the Israelites. They built those things. That's what he's saying. It's a very clear, these guys wrote in Egyptian hieroglyphs and so forth because we spoke Egyptian. We spoke Coptic. We spoke the Egyptian language. We learned how to build Egyptian megastructures. We learned that stuff. You understand? We learned that. So it says we found that among the Olmec and Maya civilizations in Central America. So it's not far-fetched that they sailed over here. So he's telling you here in this very paragraph that the Olmecs and Mayans come from the Phoenicians or the Israelites, the Carthaginians. They come from them. It's the same people. That's what he's saying.
Yep, the devil will tell you, we don't know how these big heads got here.
Right, we don't know how they got here. We don't know.
Enormous stone heads of
Aliens
Negroid-looking faces.
right.
We don't know how they got there.
Aliens put it there.
But yet you know how to go to the moon. You know how to go out of space.
And split atoms.
You know what I mean? But you can't tell how those stones got there.
Right, you're confused.
Hey,
Devil's
talking
alive.
about like Mayans. That's Zebulon.
Yes.
What's their biblical sign? The
ship. Yeah. Exactly. That's the biblical ensign, the ship.
Right, right.
And that's who were the first ones to arrive during what? Carthage's civilization. Asher and
Right.
Zebulon were the first ones there. From which Hannibal and them derived from.
Great point.
Asher and Zebulon. That's where they derived from. So seafaring was their thing. It was always their thing. Incas and Mayans. That's why I read earlier about the Incas having large ships, larger than the freaking conquistadors. That was the Incas. That's the Asher. And the Mayans is Zebulon. So that's all we know. So now, let's get the Phoenician origin now. I want that. Page 147 now. So what's tricky is that the term Phoenician, you gotta be careful because depending on the time period, it could either be Sidonians, Canaanites, or us, depending on the time frame. All right? 500s, that's us. 800s and earlier than that, that's them. That's Hiram and them. That's Ham. That's all Ham. But after around 500 or so and up, that's all Jake there. Thanks. Page 147 now, but the scholars don't know that. The ancient scholars, the books we have, old books, they record that. Newer scholars are kind of confused and mix them around, but we understand. We know how to discern based upon older sources. Page 147, and we're going to start with, and over a century before. And watch the year it gives. Over a century before, just does it say. And we're going to end at Britain.
Go back up top.
It's up top. It's on the top. I have it circled and underlined. And over a century before. Yeah, it's underlined, but it's really bright, so you can't really see it. Right there, go back. And over, go back. Right there and over, right there, over a century.
Put your cursor there. and over a century before Pythias, the Phoenician admiral Hamilcar.
Matter of fact, do me a favor, go up to the top of the page. Right there.
Britain.
Yeah, go ahead.
Britain civilization in 500 BC.
Remember I said to you that year is very important, remember? How we took over Carthage, we took over the Sidonians, trade and commerce. It says Britain civilization. You know what Britain it goes back to? It goes back to Britain. Remember we went over there to Britain, if you read earlier, we sailed to Britain. And we collected tin from over there. And we colonized it. So it's saying Britain civilization in 500 BC. Now we're going to read how we ended up in Britain. Read the next part. I'll go back to it again. And over a century.
And over a century before Pythias, the Phoenician admiral Hamilcar.
The Phoenician admiral Hamilcar. Remember the god Melkart from the last episode? Melkart. Hamilcar was a common name among the Carthaginians. Hamilcar was an admiral, a navy fleet admiral of the Carthaginians. Go ahead.
From Carthage, voyaged about 500 BC.
They go that year again. Go ahead.
Round part of Britain.
Around where?
Part of Britain.
Around part of Britain's an island. Around part of Britain. Go ahead.
To report on the 10 producing region there.
On the what?
The 10 producing region there.
To report on the 10 producing region there. 10 producing. Go ahead.
He states that the Phoenicians of Gades and Carthage were...
Gades is Cadiz. Read that earlier. Gades is Cadiz. It says, and Carthage were what?
He states that the Phoenicians of Gades and Carthage were in the habit of sailing the British seas and refers to the hardy folk of Britain.
And refers to the hardy folk of Britain. So he states that the Phoenicians of Gades and Carthage were in the habit of sailing the British seas and refers to the hardy folk of Britain. The hardy folk of Britain. Now, let's jump down to the bottom of the page. Found something very interesting. Down to the bottom of the page. The hardy folk of Britain.
The only ancient Israelite king of which there appears to be any epigraphic or contemporary record are Jehu, son of Kimri.
Son of Kimri, go ahead.
Which latter name is supposed to be Omri.
Omri, remember Omri? King Omri, Ahab's father, who tried to assimilate the Canaanites and Israelites into one culture. You remember him? He did trade, he did business with Ethbaal, Jezebel's father. Omri, same guy. So Kimri, Omri is the same person. Watch this.
Of the Old Testament.
Who is what?
Who is mentioned in the tribute list of the Assyrian king Shalmaneser II in 842 BC. And Hezekiah of Judah, who is mentioned in the tribute list of the Assyrian Sennacherib in 701 BC.
So what it says here, what was that? 3. Is it 3? It says the hardy folk of Britain. And it mentions the Kimri here for a reason. I'll probably get to that later on. I don't have it written down right now, but I'm pretty sure I'll come back to it eventually. But keep that in mind. Keep that term in mind. It says that he states that the Phoenicians of Gades and Carthage were in the habit of sailing the British seas and refers to the hardy folk of Britain. Because the people who've sailed the British seas, these Phoenicians here became known as the hardy folk of Britain. These Phoenicians Carthaginians that sailed to the British seas and resided there and stayed there became known as the hardy folk of Britain. Then it mentions Omri here, a northern kingdom king, because northern kingdom Israelites sailed here. Now, someone had asked on the comment board, are the Anglo-Saxons northern kingdom? The answer is yes, and the answer is yes. However, the southern kingdom eventually arrives there, and they've also become known as Anglo-Saxons because it's sons of Isaac. Right. Isaac had Jacob, and Jacob had 12 sons. So not only is northern kingdom Saxons, but Judah is also. They arrived there later on. That's later on. I'm going to get to that. Northern kingdom was the first to be scattered, and they ended up there first. But Judah came. Remember, it said that Babylon rose up. Judah fled also. We made our way up there also in time. All right? When Babylon rose up. We all fled to the same place, just different times. So now, keep that in mind, hardy folk. Now, let's go to Caesar and Christ. Let's go to Caesar and Christ again. Page 45. Page 45.
Damn.
Page 45. Page 45. Hold on, let me get there with you.
Okay, we getting to the family now. Huh?
Yeah, man.
All
Page
praises.
45. We're gonna get into the family of Hannibal now. So we got into how they eventually took over, Israel took over Carthage and so forth. Now we're gonna get into the family, the famous family of the Barcas. Okay, Hannibal. Go ahead. We're gonna start with
Hamilcar.
Of Hamilcar and that oldest families. Remember those two names, Hamilcar. Hamilcar, the admiral who sailed to Britain in 500. Keep his name in mind. Hamilcar and Hamilcar is the same name. They all share the same name. That was like very popular names among that family. Right. Go ahead.
Of Hamilcars, Hadribal's, and Hannibal's, Carthage had an abundance.
So a lot of people had that name. Hamilcar, Hasdrubal, and Hannibal of Carthage. There's a whole bunch of them. But there was one particular group of them stood out. Go ahead.
For these names were given in almost every generation in their oldest families.
See that? So these names are given to their oldest families. They all share that name. But the most popular ones are the ones we're going to read about today. Hold on, that's all I want. Oldest families. Get Wikipedia now. Wikipedia. Go to Hannibal first. And we're going to end at Friend of Rome. We're going to start at Hannibal from the top, and we're going to end at armies, then start again somewhere else. Now you can see this Caucasian bust that they have in a military in U.S. military base. That's a pagan whitewash image of Hannibal that they use in the military today. That's not how he looked. That's not who's on that coin. And this man's such a lying, evil bastard, he can't help himself. Despite he's from Africa, somehow he's still white. Can't make this up. Go ahead.
Hannibal Barca. Hannibal Barca, 247 between 183 and 181 BC, was a Carthaginian general and statesman who commanded Carthage main forces against the Roman Republic during the Second Punic War.
The Second Punic War, Venetian War, Carthaginian War. Go ahead.
He is widely considered one of the greatest military commanders in world history.
He is. He was, and he is. Go ahead.
His father, Hamilcar Barca, was a leading Carthaginian commander during the First Punic War.
Right, he lost. Go ahead.
His younger brothers were Mago and Hasdrubal.
Mago was a genius. He's oftentimes overlooked, but Mago was a genius. I think Mago means lion. I think it means lion. I could be wrong. I think Mago means lion, but go ahead.
And he was brother-in-law to Hasdrubal the Fair, who also commanded Carthaginian armies.
No, it means God sent. It means God sent. I believe it means God sent. Mago means God sent. Go ahead.
Hannibal lived. You wanted me to start at armies, right?
Yes. Go to Hannibal lived. Keep going. Hannibal lived. Go ahead. Let me see where you're at. Hannibal lived. Hold on. Yes, keep going there. We're gonna stop at Friend of Rome. Go ahead.
Hannibal lived during a period of great tension in the Western Mediterranean basin, triggered by the emergence of the Roman Republic as a great power after it had established its supremacy over Italy.
So at this time, Rome is not an empire yet. It's a republic. Julius Caesar. It's a republic right now. It's not an empire yet. We're gonna find out later on what made it an empire. But hold on. So you have Mago, and Hasdrubal, and his brother-in-law. So his sister married a brother named Hasdrubal as well. Hasdrubal the Fair, or Hasdrubal the Pretty Boy. Hasdrubal the Fair. So he had a brother named Mago and Hasdrubal, and a brother-in-law named Hasdrubal as well. His sister's husband. Continue.
Although Rome had won the First Punic War, revanchism prevailed in Carthage, symbolized by the alleged pledge that Hannibal made to his father never to be a friend of Rome. The Second Punic War broke out in 218 BC after Hannibal's attack on Saguntum, an ally of Rome in Hispania. He then made his famous military exploit of carrying war to Italy by crossing the Alps with his North African war elephants.
That explains to you why there was elephants on the back of that coin, symbolizing his defeat of crossing the Alps with the elephants. Go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. And you have to wonder, why would he tell him never be a friend of Rome?
Right.
That's historical.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're telling your family, do not ever mingle with these people here.
Right. We're going to stop in front of Rome. We're going to
Go
stop
ahead.
right there. I just want to stop in front of Rome. But the word revanchism means revenge. It's a political manifestation of the will to reverse territorial losses incurred by a country, often following a war or social movement. So basically, a civil war popped off after the First Punic War. So he suffered issues or drama going on within our people. After we fought Rome, we had internal issues after that took place. I might end up going into that later on regarding the revanchism or revengeism, revenge, same thing. So click Hamilcar now. Click his name. No. Go to name under Hannibal. Name. Click name. Go to name. And we're going to end at Barcids.
Hannibal was a common Carthaginian personal name. It is recorded in Carthaginian sources as Hannibal, Punic. It is a combination of the common Carthaginian masculine given name Hanno.
So Hannibal is Hanno. So it's two names in one. Hannibal. Hanno is one part of the name, and Baal is the devil, another one. Lord. Hannibal. Go ahead.
With the Northwest Semitic Canaanite deity Baal, Lord.
Literally Lord. So we worship the god deity Baal. So it's Hannibal. Go ahead.
Its precise vocalization remains a matter of debate. Suggested readings included Hannibal, Hannibal, or Hannibal, meaning Baal the Lord is gracious. Baal has been gracious, or the grace of Baal.
But watch what Hanno means. Read on.
It is equivalent to the Hebrew name Haniel.
Haniel. So Hanno is Haniel. But rather than Haniel, as in Haniel is the God of Israel, he said, now we're going to make it Hanno Baal. Hanno, the devil, instead. We simple. All right? Go ahead.
Northern Kingdom.
Yeah. Oh, snap. Go ahead.
Greek historians rendered the name as Anubis.
So Haniel means grace of God. So it means grace of Baal. Or Baal is gracious. That's what Hannibal means. Haniel is grace of God, and Hannibal is grace of Baal. All right? So, keep going. Keep going. We're going to stop there. It says Barcids. Keep going.
The Carthaginians did not use hereditary surnames, but typically were distinguished from others bearing the same name using patronymics. Or epithets. Although he is by far the most famous Hannibal, when further clarification is necessary, he is usually referred to as Hannibal, son of Hamilcar, or Hannibal the Barcid. The latter term applying to the family of his father, Hamilcar Barca. Barca Punic is a Semitic cognomen meaning lightning or thunderbolt.
Semitic means Hebrew name, Barak. It means Hamilcar Barak. That's his name means, last name. Go ahead.
A surname acquired by Hamilcar on account of the swiftness and ferocity of his attack.
Because he was fast.
Thunderbolt.
They called him Thunderbolt because he was fast.
Dang.
Fast and swift and ferocious in his attacks. Go ahead.
Although they did not inherit the surname from their father, Hamilcar's progeny are collectively known as the Barcids.
So as they call Mago, Hasdrubal, and Hannibal were known as the Barcids, or the Barcas, the Barcid family, the Thunderbolt family.
Man, they kept that in the family.
Kept that name in the family, Thunderbolt family. All right? So it says modern historians occasionally refer to Hannibal's brothers as Hasdrubal Barca or Mago Barca to distinguish them from multitudes of other Carthaginians named Hasdrubal and Mago. All right? You got a whole bunch of Magos and Hannibals and Hamilcars, but these are the most famous ones.
Right.
Like you have Michael B. Jordan. If you take the B out, he's Michael Jordan. But there's only one Michael Jordan. There's only one Mike Tyson. There's only one Michael Jackson. But there's many Michael Jacksons. But there's only one we all know of. Likewise, the Barcid family or the Barca family. Same thing. Now let's go to Hamilcar now. Click him. Click his name. Go up. Click his name. Hannibal. Hamilcar Barca.
Hamilcar Barca, or Barcus, was a Carthaginian general and statesman leader of the Barcid family and father of Hannibal, Hasdrubal, and Mago. He was also father-in-law to Hasdrubal the Fair.
His sister's husband. Go ahead.
Hamilcar,
His daughter's husband. Go ahead.
Hamilcar commanded the Carthaginian land forces in Sicily from 247 BC to 241 BC. During the latter stages of the First Punic War, he kept this army intact and led a successful guerrilla war against the Romans in Sicily.
Guerrilla warfare. That's how we fought all the time. As the Maroons in Jamaica, we did guerrilla warfare. As the French Revolution, Levi, we did guerrilla warfare.
That shows right
Maccabees,
there.
guerrilla warfare.
Yep. That shows right there. That's not Esau.
Right, that's not
Esau.
Esau.
Don't fight guerrilla.
They do not, and they can't. They're not good at defending against it either. They're not good at that. Go ahead.
Hamilcar retired to Carthage after the peace treaty in 241 BC, following the defeat of Carthage, when the mercenary war burst out in 240 BC.
Right, the mercenary war is going into the issue that took place, the revanche that took place among his own people. Because when they fought against Rome, we went broke. Something happened where we basically went broke. And he had to start killing his own men because they started revolting against his own people. So after we won against Rome, we started fighting each other. Revanchism. Or niggerism, pretty much.
Black people.
Black people, yeah. Go ahead.
Hamilcar was recalled to command and was instrumental in concluding that conflict successfully. Hamilcar commanded the Carthaginian expedition to Spain in 237 BC, and for 8 years expanded the territory of Carthage in Spain before dying in battle in 228 BC.
I think he drowned, I believe. Go ahead.
He may have been responsible for creating the strategy which his son Hannibal implemented in the Second Punic War to bring the Roman Republic close to defeat.
See, that's what Hannibal borrowed his father's blueprints to fight and defeat Rome. Almost. Beat Rome. Now,
Father like son.
like father like son. Let's click name for Hamilcar. Name.
So that goes into what? Sirach 30?
Right. Left me behind a man like unto a son like unto himself. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that. Yes, so as well. Name. Go to name. Hamilcar.
Name Hamilcar is a Latinization of Hamilcus, Greek, the Hellenized form of the common Semitic Phoenician Carthaginian masculine given name.
Hamilc.
Punic or Hamilc.
Meaning what?
Meaning Melkart's brother.
See? Melkart. Pagan god. Melkart's, but Hamilcar means Melkart's brother. Brother of Melkar. Hamilcar. Or Hamilcart. Go ahead.
The cognomen or epithet
Barak.
Barak means thunderbolt or shining.
Or shining, gleaming. Go ahead.
It is cognate with the Arabic name Bark, Maltese word Burka, and the Hebrew name Barak.
The Hebrew name Barak. There you go. Go ahead.
And equivalent to the Greek Koranis, which was born by many commanders contemporary with Hamilcar and his son Hannibal.
So even commanders after them took their name, Hamilcar and Hannibal, even after that. And Spartacus shows that, because they took the name Barca, remember later on. So, let's jump down to, I'm going to, trying to find where it mentions Xanthipus. No, read early life, that's where it is. Early life, we're gonna end that soldiery in early life. No, we're gonna read early life, and we'll find Xanthipus somewhere in here. Xanthipus, I think. Go ahead.
Little is known about the origins or history of the Barca family prior to the Punic Wars. Quoting Tony Bath, the Barca family, which originally came from Cyrene, was a powerful one, but not at that time among the first families of Carthage. Cyrene was in modern Libya. Unfortunately, Tony Bath omits references. Lance Surge states that Hamilcar's family was part of the landed aristocracy of Carthage.
Right, so Cyrene was in, it says the Barca family was which originally came from Cyrene. They came from Cyrene, which is Libya. That's where the family descends from, Libya. That's what you saw in the Gabi map that said Barca Cyrenaica. That's where he's from.
So they took over.
Right, we lived from there. Go ahead.
Hamilcar was a young man of 28 when he received the Sicilian command in 247 BC. By this time, he had 3 daughters, and his son Hannibal was born during the same year.
So he had 3 daughters. So he had 3 sons and 3 daughters. And one of those daughters married Hasdrubal the Fair. All right? Trying to find where it mentions Xanthipus.
Move it up.
Trying to find Xanthipus. Xanthipus. and that so it's a soldiery. Try to find
Go up.
soldiery.
Go ahead.
You can type in finding page. Or I'll do it. Let me see Xanthipus.
Move it up. Go ahead.
Xanthipus and that soldiery. Let me try soldiery.
Go up some more.
Maybe he's not in here. Hold on. He's not. Go to he's not in here. Go to Xanthipus. Real quick. Type in Xanthipus. Wikipedia. I'm gonna show you who Xanthipus is. He won the First Punic War, but he had help. But the Negroes messed it up and caused problems afterwards. So he had to mess around and fix his own land after he defeated Rome. These Negroes are stupid.
XAN
THIPPUS. THIPPUS. Xanthipus.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes, of Carthage, yes. And we're going to stop at soldier. I think soldier's in here. Soldiery. Hold on, let me type in soldiery. I know it's
right here, Dick. I see it.
Yeah, we're going to stop it. We're going to stop there.
All right. You want me to go up, start at top, or Diodorus says that Xanthipus?
Stop from the top, yeah.
Oh, last
from the top.
I want to,
and that soldiery, yes.
All right.
Stop from there. Watch this.
Xanthipus of Lacedaemon.
Stop. Xanthipus of Lacedaemon. That name, that's not familiar, Lacedaemon?
Yep.
That sounds like a place called Sparta.
300.
The 300.
This is
Lacedaemon. He's from Sparta. Go ahead.
Also in the Maccabees. Also known as Xanthipus of Carthage.
Right, in the Maccabees, Lacedaemon. Go ahead.
Was a Spartan mercenary.
What was he?
A Spartan mercenary.
He was a Spartan mercenary. Go ahead.
Was a Spartan mercenary general employed by Carthage during the First Punic War.
So Hannibal hired a Spartan for battle to teach his men the battle. So the Spartans and Hannibal and them teamed up to fight against the Romans.
That's a dominant force right
That's
there.
Israel all across the board. That's dangerous. Dangerous. So Hannibal's men and them know how to fight from Spartans. They can fight already. They learned to fight better and more strategically.
They took it to another level.
They evolved.
Yeah, I remember one time you had brought the
Walk with the Giants.
Right.
You want to know what I'm talking about? If you're confused, refer to the class I did called Walk with the Giants. Go back. It's like 4 parts. You go back and watch that. I'm not going over that again.
Very dangerous grounds right there.
I'm tired. That was like 5-hour class. I'm tired. So.
He said that you don't want to hear Bishop's mouth.
That too. Walk with the Giants. Walk with the Giants.
Part 36.
I was like, oh man. All right.
Oh man.
So
Bishop was all the way across Africa.
Yeah, and still said Walk with the Giants. So read it again.
Xanthipus of Lacedaemon,
Sparta,
also known as Xanthipus of Carthage, was a Spartan mercenary general employed by Carthage during the First Punic War. He led the Carthaginian army to considerable success against the Roman Republic during the course of the war, training the army to a professional standard before defeating the Romans at the Battle of Tunis.
Carthage. So he trained them to a professional standard.
What do that mean?
Okay.
He trained them to a professional standard.
Now, you see what is happening. Remember in that class you talking about Walking with the Giants?
Right.
When you explain how those children from 3 years old that was being trained how to fight.
Yeah, around 7 to 8.
Right, from
youth.
youth.
Yeah, from youth, yes.
And the women also was
trained to fight too.
To fight too, yeah.
And be athletic.
And do remember about Hannibal, he took an oath from a childhood.
His father.
To hate Rome.
Right.
Not
Forever.
to deal with them.
Yep.
So now in his experience in warfare, he had strategic way of training his men to attack and kill.
From his father.
Yep.
And remember, too, the Spartans were mercenaries.
They were mercenaries too,
Mercenaries got no mercy.
Right.
When they come, that's it. You dead.
That's it.
They're not going to negotiate with you.
Nope. And they didn't have no walls because they believed that they were the wall.
Right.
So Spartans said the Spartans didn't believe in having built high walls because they said we are the wall.
Damn.
So they didn't have no walls. They said you want a wall? We are it. We're it. Go ahead.
Where Carthaginian forces routed the Roman expeditionary force and captured the Roman consul Marcus Atilius Regulus in 255 BC.
Now you may ask yourself, we captured this dude. You know Regulus.
I know Regulus.
We captured this dude, Marcus Atilius Regulus, in 255. I'm gonna show you what we did to this dude. We tortured this dude real bad. I'm not gonna explain how he did it. We'll get to that later on.
This is Esau. That's Esau, by the way.
It's Edom, by the way. We tortured this dude. I'm gonna show you what we did to him later on. But during that first Punic War, we took this guy hostage. He refused to cooperate, so we did things to him. Let's go down to Diodorus. Diodorus says that
Xanthippus was the leader of a small band of Spartan mercenaries.
There you go. Go ahead.
Drafted by Carthage during the war. Xanthippus was hired as a Spartan drill master by the Carthaginians in 255
He's
BC.
the guy yelling in your face. What'd you say, soldier? What'd you say, man? See that dude.
Captain Shem?
Yeah, Captain Shem. Damn Joe Master. On they face, spit on their face. Yo, you ain't that saint, you hear me? You piece of crap.
You think about soda pop and put it in chips right now.
Yeah. So he was hired to be the drill master of the Carthaginians. Go ahead.
Hey, Dick, remember Xanthippus, he's a Spartan, so he came up in one of the toughest training schools called the Agoge.
The Agoge, yeah. The Agape. Agape, yeah, Goji, yeah.
The Goji.
Yeah, Goji,
right?
yes. Yes, go ahead.
Polybius tells us that he first came to the attention of the Carthaginian leaders when he criticized the behavior of Carthage generals.
Damn.
Arguing that it was they and not the Romans who were causing setbacks.
You guys are causing your own problems. So rather than get mad and say, who do you think you are? We said, you know what? Let's hear him out. Let's see what he means. Go ahead.
Having been summoned to explain himself to Carthage's elite, he successfully argued his case and was placed in command of the Carthaginian army. Despite initial concern amongst the Carthaginians that Xanthippus would not be up to the task, he swiftly proved himself by successfully drilling the Carthaginian army and gained the approval of the soldiery.
Oh my gosh. That's all I want, man. That's all you need. I don't need anything else.
This was bad, bro.
We were a problem, bro. So once again, to go back to who this guy was, Macedonians, just go back to Walk with the Giants and reference that. I'm not doing it again. I'm tired from that. I'm tired from that class. This is Caesar in Christ now, page 44. I'm gonna try to get to Regulus, man. I gotta get to Regulus. This is page 44, Caesar in Christ again. We're gonna start at the two heroes. Second paragraph. We're gonna read over into page 47, possibly. Or 45. Let's see what happens.
All right, come over. Yeah, it's a little more.
Two heroes.
And come over. That's cool. Now go out a little bit. Right, that's good. That's good. Two heroes were thrown up by this first Punic War. On the Roman side, Regulus.
255. We took him hostage. Go ahead.
On the Carthaginian, Hamilcar.
Hannibal's father. Go ahead.
Perhaps we should add a third and fourth, the Senate and the Roman people. The Senate won Hiero of Syracuse to Rome's side, and thereby assured supplies for Roman troops in Sicily.
We were fighting over Sicily. We were fighting over that area, that land. We were fighting over it. Go ahead.
It organized the nation with wisdom and resolution.
So it was a win-win. Rome won one part that benefited them in terms of supplies, and then Carthage won something else, and they won Regulus. They won him. They took him as a captive. Go ahead.
And led it to victory through almost overwhelming disasters. The citizens provided money, materials, labor, and men to build Rome's first fleet, 330 vessels.
Because Hannibal we had Sicily first, so we lost that part of Sicily. Go ahead.
Nearly all quinquermes, 150 feet long, each manned by 300 rowers and 120 soldiers, and most of them equipped with novel grapplings, irons, and movable gangways for seizing and bordering enemy ships. By these means.
So what it means is if we had giant ropes, we would throw the ropes into another ship and pull it close, and they would together, and they would climb or hop over the other ship and fight in battle. That's what those four. So it says grappling. This is grappling irons and movable gangways, like a bridge to lay over on top and climb over and fight against the other ship. That's what we did. Go ahead.
By these means.
And bring our horses over also. Go ahead. That's in movie 300, part 2.
Right.
Part 2 shows that. Go ahead.
By these means, naval warfare, unfamiliar to the Romans, could be turned into hand-to-hand combat, in which the legionnaires could use all their disciplined skill. This fact, says Polybius, shows us better than anything else how spirited and daring the Romans are when they are determined to do a thing.
So keep this in mind. He says that this shows you how Rome, Esau adapts to battle. Remember, he's blessed with warfare. So it's going to tell you how Esau adapts to battle. Because Esau wasn't accustomed to sea battles. That wasn't his thing. But fighting with us, he learned. He learned fast how to fight in water, with seafaring battles. Go ahead.
They had never given a thought to a navy.
And never gave thought to a navy prior to Hannibal and them. Never.
Because they were uncivilized.
Right. So we put them on game. Rome said, oh, this is something, this is good. The Greeks were know about that, but Rome was like, nah. But Rome said, you know what? We need ships. Watch this.
Yet when they had once conceived the project, they took it in hand so boldly that before gaining any experience in such matters, they at once engaged the Carthaginians, who for generations had held undisputed command over the sea.
What's that tell you? That means Esau had no experience in the sea. But once he got in that water, it's like he knew how to do it all along. He rivaled us. We've been doing it for centuries. Esau learned it one time and mastered it. Blessed with the art of war, like Isaac told him. Go ahead.
Off Economus, on the southern coast of Sicily, the hostile fleets carrying 300,000 men fought the greatest sea battle of antiquity, 256 BC. The Romans, under Regulus, won decisively and sailed on unhindered to Africa.
So Regulus decided to sail into Africa. That's our stomping ground. What you sailing there for? This guy was Esau arrogant. Watch this.
Landing there without careful reconnaissance.
He landed there without doing research. He wasn't thinking. Go ahead.
They soon met a superior Carthaginian force, which almost annihilated them.
Damn.
And took their reckless consul prisoner.
Took him prisoner. Go ahead.
Shortly afterward, the Roman fleet was dashed by a storm against a rocky coast. 284 BC, vessels.
No, 284 vessels were wrecked.
Sorry, 284 vessels were wrecked.
A storm came and destroyed the Roman ships. Go ahead.
Getting excited, man.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. 45. 284 vessels were wrecked, and some
80,000 men were drowned.
Damn, that's a lot of men.
It was the worst naval calamity in the memory of men.
Because they weren't prepared. They weren't experienced in naval battles. Rome. They simple. Go ahead.
The Romans showed their quality by building 200 new
Quinqueremes.
In 3 months.
And Esau, tell you, Esau's mad now. Esau adapts. This dude is a monster, man. He's a monster. Go ahead.
And training 80,000 men to man them.
They learned fast after that battle. Go ahead.
Just 80,000 men
and train 80,000 more.
Yep. Go ahead.
After keeping Regulus a prisoner for 5 years.
We kept Regulus a prisoner for 5 years. Go ahead.
His captors allowed him to accompany a Carthaginian embassy sent to Rome to seek peace.
So we sent a Carthaginian, one of our brothers took him along with him to Rome to seek peace. We got your boy here, man. We want peace. You want peace or what? We got your boy Regulus here. Go ahead.
But on his promise to return to captivity, if the Senate refused the pre-offered terms, when Regulus heard
Hold on, it says, after keeping Regulus a prisoner for 5 years, his captors allowed him to accompany a Carthaginian embassy sent to Rome to seek peace. But on his promise to return to captivity, if the Senate refused to proffered terms. Go ahead.
When Regulus heard these, he advised the Senate to reject them.
So Regulus is so prideful. He said, listen, man, the hell with the terms. I'm going to stay a prisoner. The hell with the pre-offered terms. Reject them. Go ahead.
And despite the entreaties of his family and his friends.
His friends said, no, please, don't say this. Don't do that. We want you to be free. He goes, no, the hell with that. The hell with the offer. Let them keep me prisoner. Go ahead.
Went back with the embassy to
a slave, he went back to captivity again. Watch this.
There, he was tortured to death.
The one. So there we torture him to death. How?
By being prevented from sleeping.
That dude couldn't sleep.
And Deacon, the army right now, they have that kind of torture where they would
hold your eyelids open,
eyelids and they put a tape there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So you know he went insane and died. Can never sleep. Go ahead.
Sleep. When Regulus heard these, he advised the Senate to reject them, and despite the entreaties of his family and his friends, went back with the embassy to Carthage. There he was tortured to death by being prevented from sleeping.
Go ahead.
His sons at Rome took 2 Carthaginians captives of high rank, bound them in a chest studded with spikes.
Damn.
And kept them awake till they died.
He's so spiteful, man. Go ahead.
Neither tale seems credible until we recall the barbarities of our time.
Right. So it says that it's possible, payback. It's payback. So we're going to have to end it on that. We ain't got much time left. Unfortunately, about time. Yeah, it ends there. Meanwhile, another call. One last call before we bounce. Yeah, one last call before we go. We're going to continue on page 45 of this book, Meanwhile. Y'all can get this book. It's really good. Page 45, Meanwhile.
Right.
All right, we're going to start there. That's where we start next week. All right, any callers? Call in on 267-702-6121. 267-702-6121. All right, officer. So I want to give shout outs to to the IT team. You did an excellent job. All praise to the Lord, and the breakfast team as well. All praises.
All praises. All
It could
praises.
be done without you. You are a very important part of the show. So thank you very much, officer.
Also, we want to give a shout out to Philly Music Group that went out on Deacon's show, Raven and Rose, and blazed the booth.
Hot
you know what I'm
fire.
saying? Shout out to Philly on the rise, being very humble. Those brothers and sisters are very patient. You know, they've been wanting to bring out the music, but I guess Most High is teaching them patience, and now it's time to pay off. You know what I mean? They were reckoned by the Deke, and they went out there and did their thing. So shout out to y'all.
And shout out to Deke too, Raven and Wolf.
All praises. That show, your show, Deke, is putting people on the map.
Right.
So all praises, all praises. And right now, we're telling you guys, if you enjoy this show, support our Hidden History channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you like to donate, please donate to iuic.newjersey at israelunite.org, okay? It's iuic.newjersey at israelunite.org, all right? Also, support IUIC Boosters Club at iuic.fundraiser at israelunite.org, okay? So if you enjoyed the show, like, subscribes, and we got the phone lines open now, Israel. So if you got questions pertaining to the history that the deacon is bringing out, feel free to call. Feel free to call
And
it.
also, officer, don't forget when they put their donation, put our Hidden History.
Correct.
on the caption.
Put what your donation is for, okay?
There's a phone call.
Hello, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Tanya, and I'm calling from Ohio. Shalom.
Hey,
Shalom, sis.
Ohio. In the house.
Yes.
How you doing today? How was the show? How did you like the show today,
Oh,
sis?
I love the show. Been here from the beginning of the show, and so many light bulbs have been going off in my head, and I have learned who we are, which prompted me, who I am, which prompted me to go back and ask my grandmother questions.
Oh,
And this class has put me in a whole different light, and I am proud of who I am now.
All praises. If you don't mind us asking, what tribe are you from, sis?
That's the question that I have, because the deacon has raised light bulbs in my head about when he started going over this history about it, people being from the native land and people not accepting certain groups as are being a part of the tribe of Israel.
Right.
And when he started describing the look, and my great-grandmother was dark as the bishop, but she had long, straight hair.
Right.
And I always thought I was Judah because of my hair texture. I was one of them people who went by hair.
Well, okay.
But he, yes, and he put a light bulb. In last week's class, he brung out the name Cora, which is my great-grandmother's name.
Wow.
Yes. So my question is, he done threw light, but who am I? What tribe am I from?
Well, you go by your father. You go by your father. But your mother's side may, be with you. You research more. I'm not sure, but your father, you go by your father. Wherever your father is, where he's from. Yeah, your lineage goes by your father.
So I need to go back and sit down and go through that tree because also grandmother had that hair, and we used to always say, boy, we wish we had hair like grandma. And that long, straight black hair. But I just assumed Judah because of my hair texture. I had the kinky hair.
Right. Well, Judah, both kingdoms had the hair. Both of them had the hair. But
and like I said, I was one of those persons. But that was my question, so I'm going to have to sit down and go through that. But I appreciate and I love what you guys are doing, and that just raised questions, and we all need to go back and search our history, and I'm glad he's doing this because we had a history before slavery, but that's all we've been taught.
Right, exactly, sis. But if you're in contact with your father, just ask him, that's all. Don't get too deep now. Don't mess around, find something you don't like. Just ask your father, don't like your brain. My sheep hear my voice, Christ said. My sheep hear my voice. So the word don't go out void. So just focus on your pops, and that's about it,
Okay.
And if he doesn't know, don't worry about it. Still, the sheep hear the voice. Don't even worry about that either.
Right.
All right?
Okay. Well, thank you, guys. Love you. We'll keep watching. And your time is not...
Oh, I lost time.
Call from
Okay.
Andrea.
We have. Hey, shalom, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, okay, we lost that. Well, in the meantime, if you observed the class at the end of class yesterday, evening class, it was announced IUIC in the classroom reached 100,000 subscribers. We're trying to make it to 200,000 subscribers, all right? So we got IUIC in the classroom and IUIC in the classroom too, TWO. Let's share, like, and subscribe also to that. And so that way we could raise the numbers. Likewise, our Hidden History Show on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share so that way we can reach those numbers. And that's how you put in your brick. Coming into the truth, you learning this history. You learning in order for this history to do anything for you, you have to apply God's laws, statutes, and commandments. So that way you have the spirit of understanding. Spirit of understanding comes through keeping the law. So that way... you put in your break and you learning the information yourself so we can get out of this captivity, right? All praises.
All right, brothers and sisters.
Another call?
One more caller, one more. We have time, one more.
All right.
One more, wrap it up.
Shalom, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, not ready yet? Okay. All right, I'll tell you we was taking one more.
If y'all tell us, I'll do it later.
All right, so once again, Israel, support our Hidden History Show. You could donate to iuic.newjersey@israelunite.org. Support our Boosters Club at iuic.fundraiser@israelunite.org. And your help is greatly appreciated. Right. And you brothers and sisters see the work that's being done. All across the country, you got brothers that are dedicated to making themselves more available to bring this kind of information to you, brothers and sisters. So continue supporting us. All right?
And also, like Christ says, the kingdom is not going to come by observation.
Absolutely.
So, everybody we need your help to push it through further.
Right.
All right. All praises. All right. So
All
with that being said,
And wrap it
Deacon, once again, excellent show.
Excellent
show. We always got to go back through the week and review this, man, because my head is heavy right now.
Yeah, it's like a movie you watching.
I'm telling you, man, it's a pleasure. I mean, it's an honor also to be here amongst my brothers to share this information to the people.
Yeah.
And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom until
Most
next
High
week.
Christ
Lord's will.
bless.
Shalom. Most High Christ bless.
Shalom, Most High Christ bless.
See y'all then.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.